Guys, how's it going, guys? Hold on. I'm not organized. Hold on a second. Guys, God, screwed up again. Hold on. Ugh. I'm what am I gonna do here? Put the book in front of it. I don't know why I can't remember to do this in advance. Hi Sharon. Hi Area 5150. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Like I suddenly started feeling depressed, but like literally out of absolutely nowhere. Like I was just minding my business, going about my day, and I suddenly felt like if somebody could take a pipe filled with depression dust and just blow it in my face like in Serpent in the Rainbow, and I just got ooh like poof in my face, and it makes me feel depressed. There's absolutely no like reasonable reason why. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to my depression. I didn't used to talk about it so much, but I kind of did because you guys know when like when I put those foot pads on a few months ago, I said, "Oh, I feel okay, but now I just feel really depressed." And then it went away. And then I think I told you a while ago again, it came back, and I said maybe I'm sick because oh, let me close the window. Sorry, so much noise. One second. Yeah, I did notice. Hey guys, I'm really happy to see you. I was like, shit, I'm so depressed. I don't feel like doing anything. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna go live because I promised you Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh God, Joel is here. Now what? Joel says, you're depressed. I drank my thermometer and lost all my member berries. What? I was waiting to see what are you gonna tell me. What happened to you, Joel? Something worse? Hi, Kokum. Oh, listen, Kukum, I gotta tell you, I was thinking of you because my son turned me on to this native group called the Fridos. It kind of reminds me of, was it like Sir Mix-a-Lot, like back in the 80s, but that was like kind of like the white trash version. This is like kind of the native version. It's like humor rap or humor rock, and it was very funny. And they had this, wait, yeah, they had like a spoof of, yeah, it was Sir Mix-a-Lot. I like big butts and I cannot lie, you know? But they did it for like flat butts and they call it bannock butt. And they're like, if you want to ride in Kokum's car, you gotta shake that bannock butt. You know, it was really funny. Made me think of you. Let me see who else is here. Hi, Annie. Annie in the house. Salty Texas Ranger. Cheer up, Sonia. If only it were that easy. Wouldn't it be great if all you had to do to fix depressed people was tell them to cheer up? Oh yeah, thanks. Bee Eater, what's up? Love, hi, nice to see you. Aw, thank you. I feel a bit better already. Wait, I've got hair in my face, so what? There's, I don't know if it's my hair or it's a rabbit hair. Baby's cut back. Yeah, but they got the native version. It goes baby long back because he's talking about girls having a flat butt, a gut in the front and a flat butt in the back. Baby long back. I got the bannock butt. You want to ride in Kokum's car? Shake it, shake it, shake the bannock butt. Baby long back. Man, they were really funny. They got this other song, Kokum. You might have heard this one. Um, how does he? What does he call it? My Tagai. My Tagai. Right. Which technically means warrior in like Cree or something, or maybe a few different things. But it means something else too. You know, it's like my little warrior in my pants. You know what I mean? And so they're like, it's like this diss rap going back and forth. Thanks, love. You're cheering me up too. No, it's not gangster rap, Olivier. It's like, I would call it humor rap. It's a bit like Sir Mix-a-Lot, but like the native version. Very Canadian too, you know? Um, so what was I saying about, oh crap, where was I? About the other song, My Tagai. It's so funny. And they're trying to insult each other. And he's like, my Tagai's big because I'm Cree, you know? And then it gets to ridiculous. It's like, your Tagai has to sell bottles. That was one of them. was very funny. Go look them up. They're called the Fridos. I wish I could remember more of it. What else does my Tagai do? My Tagai, big growth spurt. Your Tagai, girls say, you know. You got a bannock butt, Kokum? Yeah, apparently it's a thing, you know. But they made a very funny song about it. Fridos, not the Fry Boys. Fridos. Wait, I'm gonna write it down. You guys are gonna laugh, man. And it's kind of like really bad music, you know. I mean, musically speaking, like it's okay, you know. No, it's not Fritos, it's a Fridos. Let me write it for you. Fridos. No, it's not AI. Come on, these are some like native guys. No, no. At first, I was like, Gunnar, what are you listening to? It sounds like Busta Rhymes and Be Real. You know, one of them's like, my guy, because I'm Crete. And the other one's like, you're the guy, has to sell bottles. And I was like, who are these guys, you know? And then I started listening to it and I was like, wait a minute, that's hilarious. And we were driving through the reserve at the time, actually. Yeah, the Fridos. That's it. We're driving through Ganawage, the reserve. I've never gotten out, been around. I've actually just driven through it. Actually, I think that was my first time. Yeah, they copy other songs and they do these hilarious spoofs. Yeah, it's a bit like Weird Al Yankovic, like native version, Canadian, hilarious. I mean, I think it's Canadian because there was a lot of things in there that were like references to stuff that's Canadian, so I figure they're Canadian. So yeah, we were driving through the reserve and we're listening to the Fridos just as we passed this place that's called Club Res, and it's like this like sort of drive-in motel with like a big sign in the front, like what you got here, you know, is like not Club Med at all. But anyway, it was funny. I got a picture of it. I wish I could post it, but I do. Well, no, it's on my computer. Maybe I'll post it. Yeah, lots of people are gonna go to the res now because they keep banning stuff. Like for one, I mean, look, I do not partake, but if people like things that they can eat, you know what I'm saying? That like tasty things like little jelly things, you know, you can't get them here, but you can get them on the res. So people go there, they get, well, you know, I did this one video with Laura. She gets her like chocolate bars, you know, edible things that you can eat, you know what I mean? They got everything there, and it's just like a fiesta. Whereas here, it's like the government runs everything, and it's like there's a security guard at the front. You go in the store, you like get your thing, and it's just all very, you know, very business. Whereas up there, it's kind of like a boutique, you know, and you get lots of different things. And the vape juice, like Joel says, and the fireworks. They got fireworks too. That's true. Oh yeah, Canada is Orwellian for sure. Texas, salty. But yeah, oh hey, hardcore. But yeah, like now they're coming after the vape juice. Now it's getting personal, you know, because you know me, I like to hit the vape. And this is just such BS. Our government here decided they were going to get rid of all the flavors except for tobacco and no flavor, because they think that the kids are vaping because they like the flavor. Oh, I have news for you. The kids are not vaping because they like the flavor. They just vape because they like the nicotine and they like to make clouds, you know? And did they go after our gas stoves, Lincoln? I don't think so. I think they went after the wood stoves. I don't know. I don't have a gas stove. No, they didn't, because I know someone who still has one. So they're trying to get, yeah, they think it's cool, the kids. So they're vaping, and the government decided to get rid of the flavors. That'll solve the problem. Well, all it's going to do is put a lot of vape stores a lot of vape companies out of business, because right now it's a huge thing. And when you go to the boutique, you have all these different companies and they all have their own way of doing these different flavors. If you get rid of all the flavors, well, there's not much left, you know, like almost nothing. So I was thinking, like, these people who've built their entire business on it. Oh, hi, Joey. They're screwed, man. I thought I had it rough with YouTube, like deciding that I wasn't worthy of taking up space anymore. Imagine if like you have a whole big business built on this, like factories and employees, and they decide like, no more business for you. So screwed. And this is only in Quebec. So what people are going to do is they're either going to drive to Ontario to get their vape juice, or they're going to go to the reserve. So I think I'm going to be going to the res a lot if this is how it turns out. For now, I stocked up. I don't really care what I vape. If it doesn't taste like, this is always lemon flavor or like mango or guava, but if it doesn't taste tropical, then fine, I'll vape tobacco. I don't really care when it comes down to it. I don't think the kids care either. And you know what scares me is that if the kids can't get their vape juice from a store that's selling reputable brands, I think they're going to do like they do with everything else and get it on the black market. And that's when you have problems. Like there was this epidemic of like what they called a vaping disease, where there was oil in some of the formulas and they came from China, and kids were ending up in the emergency with that. So I think it's a bad idea. But I don't really think that our government is doing any of this because they care so much about the kids. I think that because it's already illegal for them to be vaping in the first place. I think that they're doing this because actually I think they're in bed with big tobacco, and I truly think it's a conspiracy. Tobacco companies trying to like push the vape business out so they can come take more space, and the kids are just going to start smoking, or more likely they're going to go black market vaping because I think they like vaping better. So yeah, I went down to the res, and I think I'm going to be back. It's kind of like, you know, the reses here, it's a bit like our Vegas. You know, they've got entertainment, they've got gambling. You're a guy, can't even play bingo. That's another one. So yeah, anyway, maybe I'll go party at the res sometime. Hi Vitra. Welcome. So Olivier's here. I wanted to give you some news from Olivier. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got more clutter up there and you can't see it. Olivier gave me a bunch of stuff because his mom was moving and he was getting rid of stuff. And he's like, well, I could take it to the charity right now or you can have it. So he gave me some wicker baskets. I mean, look, I'm going to, yeah, the lamp. Yeah, the lamps are there. Yeah, I listed them. I can't really find anywhere to put them. I thought I might put one in the living room. I'm not sure. But we'll have like one listed right now. Yeah. Probably right about the tobacco companies. Yeah, those two guys. Yeah. No, I think so. I think Quebec has like the most crooked government in all of Canada. And everybody knows it, you know, like I wish you guys could see. I've told you this before. I got to do like a walk downtown and just show you like how run down everything is. The only part that's fixed up is like the really touristy zone, and they poured all their money in there. And as soon as you go out of there, it's like it's so dilapidated. You going to Renaissance? Yeah, you got more stuff. Yeah, cool. Yeah, now Aaron's into the thrifting too. He went and got himself some clothes finally, because he's been going around looking like a hobo for a while. And I keep telling him, Aaron, you got to clean up your act. And I tried to shop for him, but Aaron is like really big. I don't know if you know this, but he's like a triple X or something. Like he is so big. I think he's a 2X, but you know, when I go to the thrift store and I see shirts that say 2X, I take it home. It doesn't fit him because not all 2Xs are created equal. I'm sure you know. There are some brands where like they're made so skinny that their extra large is like a medium and their 2X is maybe like an X, you know? And I bought him a couple shirts and they didn't fit. Oh, hey, Kanga, how are you doing? And I was able to take them back. And then I was like, listen, you're going to have to go by yourself. So he actually did. He went. So he got himself a whole bunch of clothes and it was cool. It was like Abercrombie and Fitch t-shirts, Jack Jones, you know, all kinds of fancy stuff. So now, and he took Gunner, and Gunner got something too. He got sweatpants and a t-shirt. So that's cool. So we're all thrifting now. Probably just saving a fortune by not buying clothes in the stores. I can't believe how much I used to spend. Like every time I would go to H&M, I don't know why I didn't go to the thrift stores. I guess I just thought, oh, it's just like a big pile of junk. I'll never find anything in there. And I used to go to like H&M and Ardennes a lot, especially Ardennes. Mostly those two because they're not that expensive, but still, like I told you guys before, the last time I went shopping, I went to H&M at Christmas and I spent $60 with tax on just two little sweaters. That's a fortune. Like I would have spent 10 if I bought them at Renaissance, you know? What's this, Salty? I was a 2X, but I started a carnivore diet and you're down 30 pounds. since May 5th. Wow, that was fast. Now you don't have any clothes that fit. Now you got to go thrifting, Salty. You have to. You buy your clothes at the dollar store, Joel? Okay. I didn't know they had like a full wardrobe, you know? I know they have socks and stuff. Yeah, Salty, you need to go thrifting and let us know how it goes. But that's pretty impressive. You lost so much weight on the carnivore diet. Tell me what you did. I don't think I tried with this keto and stuff before, but I'm miserable if I have to just eat so much meat. I can't handle it. I've got a friend, my friend George. He lost so much weight doing carnivore. He had to stop intermittent fasting because he said that with the carnivore, the weight was coming off so easily, and then with the fasting, it was like he was going to get skinny. You're still going. I don't know. I know I know it really works, but I mean, look, I've done keto how many times, and the last time it took like 8 or 9 months just to lose 8 pounds, so it was like a pound a month, and then like in 3 months it all came back. Like as soon as I stopped doing that, and I just ate normal food. I'm just like, whatever, you know, fat acceptance, screw it. I accept my fat. I'm done being at war with it. I just can't. It just takes up too much space in my head, you know, at this point. But this is menopause, right? This is what a lot of women discover. But I don't think I'm doing too bad. It could be a lot worse. I only gained like 20 pounds in menopause. And also I quit smoking at that time. This doesn't count. So yeah, what kind of clothes can you get from the dollar store, Joel? You know, what exactly are you getting? I do see some t-shirts in there. We should do that. I should do like a dollar store clothing haul one day. I did not know that you could actually like dress yourself. Hi, Bella. How's it going? You felt like you were dying last month, so you decided to start cold turkey. Really? You felt like you were dying and then you had to go on a diet? Well, okay. I mean, I'm glad that you lost weight. Like, good for you. That's cool. I'm sort of inspired, but I already feel discouraged because I don't think I could do it. I don't know, man. I got my zapper on though, you see? Because I've been super tired all the time. Oh, just getting up from the couch. Oh, it was hard, eh? Oh, Bella, you're on Ozempic. Oh, how's that going? That's what everybody's doing now is Ozempic. But I'm seeing mixed results, you know? Like, for example, you ever watch Jamie French on here? She used to do these really funny makeup videos, and then she was doing movie reviews, and she does, I don't know, just like funny little videos, right? She had a really bad experience on Ozempic. And you never heard of her? Oh, check her out. She's very funny, but she's having difficulties now. And the other day, actually, she did this video where she was explaining exactly why YouTube is a full-time job. Not like if you just come on like me and you just stream of consciousness interact with your viewers and you take a couple hours, is like there's no prep work, there's no production team. Obviously, I didn't even bother to put makeup on. But when you do those videos where it's researched, it's scripted, there's a lot of visuals, there's like 8 or 12 hours of editing that goes into it. And in their case, they have like a whole production team. Somebody does her makeup, somebody's holding the microphone and holding the camera, someone else is editing. Like, it's a whole big thing. It looks like it's just a girl sitting there in her room, but it's not. And it's not just like off the cuff, like, oh, I just talking to the microphone and like put in a couple of edits. It's a whole big thing. It's really a full-time job. Plus they're on multiple platforms. And she was saying how discouraged she was because now all those big film companies, like every time she does a movie review, even though she's not, it's under fair use what she's doing, but they flag everything for copyright. And she's like, yeah, you know, you can't make all those, this production team, they all want to get paid. You can't have a huge production team and put all this time and effort into making a video and you don't make any money. It's just not doable. But the way she explained it was really, really good. It was like, yeah, it really is work. It really is a full-time job. What I was doing before with all the editing and all the researching and all the visuals, it's a lot of work. It's really enough hours in a week to be a full-time job. It doesn't look like it to you because you just watch for 10 minutes, but behind the scenes, there's a lot that goes on. And there was another woman, what was her channel called? Like the Friend Zone or something like that. Oh yeah, like Friend Zone. I don't even know what she makes videos about, but she was talking about YouTube and how they're like just it's totally screwed now. It's not like it was at all before, and now it's starting to be like pay to play. So before, you know, if I mean, I've been experiencing this for years, so it's not a new thing for me, but apparently it's affecting everyone, even people who are not in the doghouse. Um, so she was saying, oh, I gotta unplug this for a second. So like before, you'd put your video up and people would look up certain search criteria and they find your video. Now that's like impossible. It's becoming harder to do. But also, YouTube won't recommend your videos. They're recommending the videos that people paid to get promoted. It's like on Facebook. So there's a new thing in there where when you make your video, you can promote it. You pay to promote your video. And if you don't do that, nobody sees it. And so I have 100,000 something subscribers, and I get maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000 hits on my videos. She's got like 275,000 subscribers, and she's getting like 3,000 views on her videos. And there's nothing controversial on her channel at all. Some of the videos still have a lot more views, but in general, it's like under 10,000. And she was saying that that's because these companies that have a lot of money and a lot of production value and a budget, right? They can pay to promote. And that's why all you see is that stuff. And the only people who are going to watch your videos are the people that are already watching it. Anyway, there's that. So that was a tangent about Jamie French and associated stuff regarding YouTube. But let's get back to this whole Ozempic thing. So Jamie French did Ozempic, and it really messed her up, like psychiatric. She had like psychiatric side effects, and she just felt really, really bad. And she got off it, and she says she's still having problems from it. And yeah, it doesn't work for everyone. Okay, so let's see. What are you all using? Let's see. Yeah, I kind of wanted to tell you that about YouTube anyway, even though I know it's a tangent. Okay, Winona's on Wegovy. And I heard that as soon as you go off it, the weight comes back. It's like me with the keto. Oh, thanks, Josie. I'm on keto for 8 or 9 months. I lose 10 pounds. I go off keto, and I swear in 3 months, the weight's back. And it's not like I'm pigging out. Like, I don't even overeat. Well, I had 4 cookies today, but for me, that's like a whole big thing, right? I have coffee for breakfast. I don't eat much for lunch. I had coffee to add a sandwich for lunch. I had it was like a hamburger bun with 2 pieces of bacon and some lettuce and tomato. And I had a little plate of spaghetti like this for dinner. I mean, what do you want me to do? Saltines? You know, like what am I supposed to eat? Saltines and celery sticks? It's not like I'm stuffing my face, but you know, still, yeah. Anyway, I'm not looking for advice either, by the way. At least I didn't eat the bag. Yeah. What bag? Well, it was so good. Maybe I should have eaten the bag. Oh, the cookies bag. Oh, I thought you meant like the actual wrapper. Oh, that's me being autistic. I'm thinking you're talking about like the actual bag. I'm like, well, that would be kind of weird. Like maybe put it in strips and like eat the bag. I don't know. Oh, you mean the whole bag? Oh, the contents of the bag. I'm so stupid. But anyway, so yeah, like, you know, you go off your Wegovy or your Ozempic, and apparently it comes right back. Bella. Okay, so wait a minute. So Winona, wait, hold on, I'm lost now. Okay, so Salty, you were on Ozempic, carnivore diet, lost 30 pounds. Winona is on Wegovy, and she's lost 21 pounds in 9 months. That's pretty good. That's impressive. If I lost 21 pounds, I'd be back at like my skinny weight from like before I got old, you know? I'd be happy. Bella, well, not that I'm not happy now, but you know what I'm saying. Bella just started 4 weeks ago. No side effects. Good for you. That's cool. Pre-diabetic. Good for you. That's awesome. I mean, look, I wish I could take it and have no side effects. That would be great. First of all, my doctor won't give it to me. I already asked him. And second, I have rotten luck with pharmaceuticals, and I kind of think that I'd probably have problems. Oh, Adrienne started modafinil. Oh my gosh, it's like everyone is on this. Wait, modafinil, Ozempic, and Wegovy. How do they come up with these names? Wegovy. Because it's like way groovy, dude. You know, Wegovy. Wait, Munjaro. It's like, ma please, pourquoi tu ne manges pas? Munjaro, Munjaro. It's like ita, Italian. You know, who came up with this? Guy at the company's Italian. He's like, oh, my nonna would say, Munjaro, Munjaro. Like mangiare, you know? That's what I think. Let's see. Modafinil. It sounds like you know, like modulates your metabolism. Oh wait, that's for narcolepsy and fatigue. Okay. Oh, no kidding. Oh, narcolepsy. That sucks. My friend's daughter has that. Modafinil. Wait a minute. Isn't that the one that Temple Grandin takes? Isn't that the one where you have to like really watch what you eat? That there's like a whole bunch of things that you're not allowed to eat when you're on modafinil? Oh, it's a weight loss aid. Interesting. And you burn more calories. Oh, I'm gonna have to find out where I can get some of that. Can't search people's channels by date anymore either, says Lincoln. That's true. Olivier has lost 40 pounds by eating when his stomach was growling and not eating too much. That's because you're a young man, Olivier. That's why. Because I go so long without food that I feel like I have like zero blood sugar. You know, my stomach is growling and I'm like, oh, food. Still not losing weight. Olivier, have your menopause and then get back to us and let us know how it's going, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's see. Who else? Art Deco, Mangiaro. You're on the Mangiaro. We take a Mangiaro and you mangiare. Che bello, bellissima. Okay, let's see. Okay, wait, I'm a little behind in the comments. Okay, do you pay to have your video where it says ad and the ad appears? Yeah, that when it says ad, yeah, somebody paid for that. But I think there's something where they pay for it too, just to like get up on the. Anyway, whatever. The days of YouTube the way it was, that's over. Never mind. At least we have each other. At least we found each other, you know. Oh, you started the. Okay, Salty started the carnivore thing for a 30-day challenge. And at 30 days, it was a no-brainer to continue on for 60 days. Oh my God, I wish it was that easy for me. Let's see. Okay, wait, I'm going to scroll down. Le Roi La Reine is fasting for 12 hours every day and it works for me. Well, I've done the fasting thing too, and so is Lara. I think my metabolism is screwed. I'm either pre-diabetic or it's my thyroid. It's not normal. It's not normal, I'm telling you guys. But then sometimes like I'll go so long with like I don't eat much in the day and I'm really, really hungry all the time. And then at night, so I'll get into like a can of nuts, you know, if I have one. Or I'll have to eat toast before I go to bed because I'll be so hungry. So Buongiorno makes a 5-a-day fast to seem easy. Yeah, I'm gonna go to my doctor and tell him, doctor, I want to get on some of that buongiorno, how you say, you know, for the weight loss. Because me, I want to wear a nice bikini. Eating a high-fat diet curbs your appetite. Oh, I'm not surprised. I've done it before. I don't know. Yeah, Joey says I look very healthy and natural. Stream more, you get happy chatting with everyone. Yeah, I'm really happy to see you guys. You guys are fun. You know, when I'm here alone, and like you saw that video I made where I was trying to declutter. I did like a pretty good job. Look, I could show you a little bit. See this area here. Well, now the bed's cluttered because I threw stuff on it, but like that area down there. Well, anyway, you'll have to take my word for it. It's improved. Oh, hey Pam, how are you? It's somewhat improved. I did make some headway. I did a great job like clearing this cupboard out, getting rid of a ton of stuff. It's all organized in there. My beautiful vintage sewing basket is in there. I love that thing so much. Veg Remedies, hi. Says, have you thought of selling those cool boxes? Of course I've thought of selling them. What do you think I'm doing with them? Trying to sell them. Nobody's buying. Well, I made them a long time ago, and at the like 20 years ago. And at the time, I was like, oh, I'll just go up to the mountain and sell them at the Tam Tams. But I didn't get my shit together. You know what I mean? So I got stuck with the boxes, and then I was like, well, maybe I'll put them on Marketplace. I didn't actually put them on there. I just kind of been hoarding them. I did sell some of them at a craft fair once. I did. Oh, hey, Pam. Pam's been hiding. Leptin switches you to fat burning, says Bee Eater. We're all over the place. You need to eat omega-3 food. You got trust me. I'm the truther girl. Remember? It's not like I don't know. I used to do videos about how you guys should lose weight. Now I can't lose weight. It's menopause, I'm telling you. And people go, oh, well, it's the stress. Okay, take my son, take him to your house, take the stress off my hands. Take my son, and then maybe I'll lose some weight. I don't know. But you take him and let's see what happens, you know? I mean, you can't, it's easy to say to somebody, you got to cut down the stress, but you're like, what do you want me to do? Get rid of my kid? I mean, really, you know? Okay, here's a box. Raw cacao. I'm down with that. I'm also down with maca. Careful though. Careful. You know what maca does? I can't think of a euphemism for it. It's an aphrodisiac. Careful though. It's rather powerful, if you know what I mean. You don't want to take it on a Saturday night. You might have some impure thoughts in church. That would be terrible. Here's the box. I mean, I just took the calendar and like took pictures from it and like put on here. The boxes were all decorated and they were like finished inside. But here's the thing with the boxes. I used like floor varnish on it, and as a glaze, I didn't know where to get like the really good quality like resin stuff. So that stuff kind of yellows with time. You see, it doesn't look very good. But I'm like, man, I put a lot of work into these things. I'm not going to throw them in the garbage. Etsy, yeah, who's going to buy this though? I don't know. I've gotten better at my craft though over the years, as you know. So I've gotten a bit better. You guys have seen this before a million times. So I decoupaged this entire thing. Oops, I still have to just put the lacquer on it. I haven't done that yet. It feels a bit weird what's going on with it. So, you know, yeah. See? It's so pretty. I have to lacquer it, but I just don't like lacquering things because it smells and it's a mess and it's not good to breathe it. And I'm procrastinating, I'll be honest with you. It's been sitting here for a long time. Well, I procrastinate about lacquering it. You know, it took me like 6 months just to cover it, and then another 6 months of procrastinating before I one day get around to lacquering it. So, yeah. I mean, you know, I could put my boxes on, put the lacquer. Oh, hey, Justin. Well, it smells, okay? It's like an epoxy. That stuff is horrible for your lungs. Like, there's people that have ended up with lung damage for making epoxy cups in their home. So I don't want to poison myself. I thought I might do it outside. I don't know. I have to think about it. I'm just, you know, gearing up to do it at some point. Whenever. Yeah. I don't think a mask is going to fix that problem either. You have that same shelf? You have that shelf, Kanga? With the horses on top? No way. That's cool. Justin remembers when I started the project. Yeah, it was like ages ago. Really? Interesting. Somebody gave it to me. Oh, there's a special mask for fumes. See, that's what I need. Oh my God, it's hot in here. Now I closed the window. Now I'm like, oh, I'm dying. Oh. So, I wanted to come back to the depression thing though. So we were talking about weight loss. That's not happening. Oh, Justin's been losing weight though. There's that. The depression thing is very weird. So I've said this before, but in case you haven't heard it, I did notice that every time I get sick, I get really bad psychiatric effects. It could be like there's literally nothing that happened in my day that I'm upset about. I can't think of anything. I'm like, use Mod Podge? No, it doesn't. It's not the same. I've done it. It's just not the same. No, it's got to be like lacquered. No, see, Cajun says depression is due to lack of control. It's not that either, though. It's not. It's something else. It's something like biological. I think what it is, it's a reaction to inflammation, which apparently, like, there's some science behind this, that some people get like depressive symptoms as a reaction to inflammation. It's like you're allergic to your own cytokines. And the reason that I made the connection, I'm sure you've heard it, but like just in case, I noticed that when I'd get a flu, I would get this horrible feeling, like it was like I'd been poisoned. Like I say, it's like if somebody had dosed me with something that makes you depressed. And I talked to a friend of mine who's a psychologist, and they were like, oh yeah, that happens to some people. It's because of the inflammatory cytokines that your body is producing to get rid of the virus, and you react to that with this feeling of depression, and it can be really, really severe. And he said he had one friend who had this flu, and it was just like he felt like the worst, most horribly depressed, like just so down. I've said many times in previous videos, it's like I feel like I've been poisoned with sadness, and there's nothing bothering me. I had a good day. I even sold a belly dancing outfit. I decluttered. I mean, I have nothing to complain about, you know. Aaron, oh, well, I'm going to get to that. Aaron is sick, though. Bella says COVID caused her a lot of depression. Lasted 6 months. Yeah, so it does get, okay, so you guys have that. I'm not the only one. Cajun, it says, that's how I feel a lot. Lincoln says, I get depressed too. Cajun says, mine is worse after having COVID. Yeah, so I've had this with the flu, and I've had it at other times where I feel like like it literally I could be like sitting on my bed doing nothing, and poof, it just comes into me. I could be like walking down the street, and it's just, and there's nothing going on in my head. Like there's not a single sad thought going on. There's no dissatisfaction. I feel like very grateful for my life. I was just telling Gunnar, like, imagine, you know, the person that I was in my 20s. I was a completely broken, disenfranchised person with drug problems, completely like messed up. And I had nothing going, well, I mean, I was in school, but I didn't have much going for me. It was like pretty bad. And, you know, nothing of my own. I didn't own anything. I had nothing, no partner, no kids. That I have a home that, yeah, it's small, but it's nice. Like we're happy. We just need an extra room, but it's a cute little fun apartment with all my fun stuff in it. I have a man who loves me. I have a beautiful son. I have a car. I've managed to like earn a living for the last 20 years without ever having to go to work. I mean, yeah, I do work, but I like what I do. All the things I do, I like them so much that I don't feel like I'm working. Like I've never had to report to like an office or a store or whatever. I mean, it's like all my dreams came true. Basically, I have nothing to complain about. I mean, you know, obviously there's always some things like, you know, like I say, my apartment's really small. Oh my God, I even got to travel to Europe. Oh, you guys don't, Pam says, wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, I have done some videos. I did this one video, I think it was called My Near-Death Experience. And I can't remember what it was, but it was about how I almost died. And then I got saved later, like I have a new life in Christ, you know, and I'm totally different than I was before. And I didn't really talk about it. Like, I feel like these days there's less stigma about recovery. Honestly, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm in recovery. And they like post their face on the internet and they show pictures of what they were like when they were addicts and what they're like now, you know, when they're all like full of scabs and they're all, you know, and versus now. And they'll be like, I'm 6 months clean. I'm like, oh my God, only 6 months, you know, like, let's hope it lasts. Yeah, like, no, but for me, this was like back in the 90s, and I didn't talk about it because I thought people were just going to judge me. Because honestly, way back in the day, when I got baptized and I turned my life around completely and I had like new life in Christ, and I was all happy about it. And I used to tell everybody, oh, I used to be a big drug addict and I was such a mess, and look at me now. And it was like, I thought this was good news, and that it would encourage them to know that, like, look what God can do. But instead, I think the effect was that they would look at me like, oh, really? Well, she's got problems. Maybe she still does it, you know? She is kind of weird. How do we know she really doesn't do it anymore? So I stopped talking about it and I just completely stopped and I didn't tell anybody anymore. And I don't have a problem with it, but because I figured people are just judging. Um, so yeah, like I didn't really talk about it on YouTube, so I just made these Anita videos like as an indirect way of expressing myself. Oh, thanks, Pam. And I'm saying this is all for you, Pam. Well, you know what? What's really weird, I had been clean about maybe 10 or 12 years. I don't remember. It was maybe before Gunnar was born, I think. I can't remember, but it was a really long time ago. But I'd been clean like 10 or 12 years already. And I wanted to quit smoking. Didn't work, by the way. I went to see this therapist. I paid him $800 for a number of sessions. He was supposed to help me quit smoking. What a waste of money. But in the sessions, I said something to him like, I don't understand why I can't quit smoking. I used to be a drug addict like a long time ago. And I don't know, we were talking, and at some point I said something like, I feel like people can tell by looking at me. I just remember saying to him, like, I feel like wherever I go, like, people are going to know about my past. Like, they're going to look at me and they're going to know I was an addict. And he said, they can't tell by looking at you. And he also said to me, it's very common for former addicts to think that people will look at them and they're going to know. And I was like, really? It's a thing? And then I realized, like, oh, so I am a normal person. And I've been really paranoid for no reason, you know. So then I felt better about myself. But yeah, the 90s was like, I mean, it was crazy. It was the 90s. Salty. um yeah, it was the 90s, you know, there was a lot of drugs back then. Uh well, I'll tell you, I came out of that. Okay, look, I was in that school, you know, in the States. And you guys know I'm autistic and I had an eating disorder. My parents sent me there. But at the time, they had me evaluated by psychiatry, but they couldn't figure out what my disorder was. They were like, there's something wrong with her, but we don't know what it is. And they didn't diagnose me with anything exactly. Well, it's a conduct disorder, but she doesn't act right. But they didn't really know what it was. And I think the reason was because back then, the diagnostic criteria for autism, it was only like, you know, Kanner autism, like either regressive or like we never developed speech. You had to have like a serious speech impairment. And I think also like some intellectual disability. It had to be like really noticeable, you know. People like me, there was no room for us inside the autism label. It wasn't a spectrum. I mean, they added Asperger syndrome later in the 90s, but this was like in the late 80s, so that wasn't even there. So I went to the school and I had an eating disorder. Everybody knew that, but they were like, why? Like, what's wrong with her? She's so obsessive, you know? And one of the therapists one day, he goes, oh, I know what's wrong with you. You're an addict. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. I haven't really done drugs much, you know, like why would I be an addict? And he goes, oh, I know, but you have the isms, like you have the personality traits. So I was like, oh, thank you for telling me. Now I know what's wrong with me. So it was like kind of good news for me. I sort of embraced the label. I was like, oh, great. Because I didn't know what was wrong with me. I had no identity. No one could say what it was. I was just weird and I was just wrong. I felt like I was defective and everybody was like, when are you going to be normal, you know? So when he told me that I was a drug addict, I was like, okay, great, sure, whatever you say. And he's like, yeah, you have to go to these meetings, and he sent me to 12-step, and I went there and I was like, great, I get to be in a club and meet people. But then I was like, wait a minute, I don't relate to this at all. What are they talking about? So then when I left, I had it in my head. I was like, well, I better get on it and start doing some drugs because apparently I'm a drug addict. I mean, it sounds absolutely ridiculous when I hear it now. Like you tell an autistic teenager that they're a drug addict and instead of telling them they're autistic and they're like, oh, okay, if you say so, better do some drugs then. Like literally this is what happened, you know? I mean, I had smoked pot in high school, but it wasn't like a thing, it wasn't a big deal. So I came back from Montreal. I decided to like try everything. So I tried a few things, and there I was like, yeah, that was okay, but it wasn't that great. And then I got into the what was popular in the 90s was the opioids, like a lot of people. And I didn't understand at all like what addiction was. I was very, very naive. So then I was like, they were like, careful, because then if you stop, you're gonna feel like you have the flu. And I was like, flu? Oh my god, big deal! Like I've had a flu a million times. Like I didn't understand at all. I had no idea. I found out. So that led to like a number of years where it was a bit of an up and down roller coaster. I got sent to rehab when I was 20 years old. I did get saved though, so that was the good news. And I stayed clean for a couple of years, sort of. um, I mean, I went to raves, so I wasn't 100% clean, but I didn't do any of that, my drug of choice kind of thing. And then like a whole bunch of really bad things happened that was kicked off by my breast reduction. And I was given, some painkillers, which I think he did the right thing. I don't think it was wrong that he gave me the painkillers. The problem was that there was other stuff that was going on in my life at the time that was really, really horrible. And I just started using the painkillers, and it led to like 4.5 years of relapse. I'll be honest. It was really bad. It was like, I was still in university. I was like what you call functional addict, I was in university, had a roof over my head. I mean, I earned my money, but it started getting worse and worse. And at the end there, I was like, I can't stop. Like I tried, but I can't. I kept trying to stop, but I couldn't do it. It got really bad. And then finally I ended up getting, like, I went to this, my parents wanted me to go to rehab that was like an inpatient, and I was like, no way, because I'd been in that school for 3.5 years, and I was like, no way in hell am I going to go anywhere. I'm not going to another stupid pop psychology cult. So I managed to like, get, actually my church was really supportive. They knew what was going on, and they were like, just stay here with your family, which was the church, and I got some help, like medical help for like to detox and whatever. And I felt like God really helped me because I was able to like stop in Montreal and just use medications without being like overcome by cravings. Because in the past, anytime that I tried to stop, like in Montreal, it was completely impossible. Like I had no control. And it was like God did something for me that I had like withdrawal, but my mind was really clear, and I felt like I was okay. So then I was able to just be in like this program. So I did get medical help, but I felt like God did something, and I never went back to that life. I never went back. Actually, that's when I got clean, and that was in 99, and that was like, I got baptized like not long after, and it was like there was no looking back, like I was never going to go back to that life, and I never did. I never went back to that. What I did in the 90s, like that was it. I was done. I mean, there's more to the story than that, but that's the essence of it. That was basically, now I forgot how we got on the subject. I think it's because I was talking about something, and Pam went, really? Oh my God, no. And I was like, oh, screw it. I'll just tell you a story. I mean, there's obviously more to the story than that, but that's like in a nutshell. And I feel like God changed me. Like I'm not that person. And actually in 2006, I tried to have a relapse one day, and I was horrified. I was like, I went slumming. I went with people that we were talking about depression. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Cajun. I went slumming. Like I hooked up with Joel. Remember Dirt and Donna? I hooked up with Joe, otherwise known as Dirt, formerly, and we got high. And I was in his apartment, and I was looking around, and I was like, "This isn't me anymore. What am I doing here?" It was just so scuzzy. Then I was just like, "This isn't me," And there was like one other time in 2012, and again, it was, I don't know what got into me. I was like, oh, let's just do it, whatever. And couple times, and then the next morning, like I sniffed something, and the next morning, I I thought, oh my God, what have I done? Like I felt like God would look at it like, oh my God, I'm gonna be like emotional telling you this, but um, God was like, I've given you everything that you've wanted, like why would you go back to this? And I felt like I was really messing with something, because I feel like sometimes when you're doing things, you don't know what you're doing, and you haven't committed your life to God. You make mistakes, but there's grace on you. But once you've made a commitment to God and then you decide to go back and do something, there may or may not be grace on you. And I was like, this was really bad. Like I totally repented, and I was really worried that I would get like it wasn't cocaine or anything, not, but I mean I sniffed something, right, but it wasn't cocaine. And I was just like, oh my God, like how could I do this? Like it could, who knows what it could do to me? It could have killed me. It could give me an infection in my sinuses. I just felt so guilty. I felt so bad. I felt like God had given me so much. Why would I do this? And that was it. I was like, never again. Like I feel very much like I can't, it's not an option. Like, so, and so this is actually, I was doing YouTube at the time, but I don't know if it was related to it, but I had been assaulted, let's just say, like back in 2012, like I had been really traumatized. And I think that might have been why this happened. It was just like a really bad time that I guess you guys didn't know. I never told anybody. Maybe that's what like weakened me, because I'd been assaulted, and it was really weird. It was just like I didn't even make the connection with it, but at first, but I sort of carried it around for like 10 years, and then I finally told some people about what happened. But it was like after that happened, I think there was like a few weeks there where I wasn't right, and I would wake up in the morning and I would like have a drink, like just one drink, or I just felt really like not myself, and I felt really like not right, and I didn't know what to do. And then I did that, and then I was like, oh, this is really bad. And I don't know, eventually, like I guess I was okay, but it took a long time though for me to like get right after what happened. Like when you get assaulted, it's very traumatizing. But it's over now, and I'm okay, so we're okay. But yeah. Um, so anyway, as far as the depression goes, what did you say, Pam? Pam M. Oh, thanks, Pam. Well, no, I'm not hard on myself, but I guess well, it's because I'm not really telling you like what happened, but let's just say it was really bad. Like what happened to me, it was bad with a capital B, and maybe all capital letters. It was really, really bad. It was like a nightmare. I couldn't say anything. So it was just like, when sometimes something really bad happens, and you just start carrying it around with you. But anyway, it's done now. It's over. I'm okay. So well, that was the story. But like, why do I get depressed randomly? And it has nothing to do with this. I think we just sort of, I don't know, it came up, so I figured I would just tell you the story. Um, yes, like, sometimes I just get depressed, like really randomly. I need some Bud Light, yeah. Yeah, I think I was like traumatized at the time. Do you think addiction is in the brain or from substance? I don't know. I think some people are like predisposed to it for sure with the personality traits. But anybody, like if you expose yourself to opioids for a long enough time, trust me, you will get addicted. It just happens. It changes your brain. Yeah. But like, so the thing is, like, when you get sick, it produces a lot of cytokines. And for me, it seems like that triggers a feeling of depression. And a lot of times, like Gunnar and or Aaron will get sick. Usually maybe Aaron is just sick and Gunnar has no symptoms, maybe, and I get depressed, but it's because I'm actually fighting a virus. And so I realized that when I use wormwood, um, like if the depression lasts for like 2 weeks, then I can take wormwood like a parasite cleanse, but just the wormwood, just one capsule, and then move to two, and then go back to one for like 5 days, and then it for me it works. I don't know what it is about it, but that's what I've been doing. But the last time this happened was a couple weeks ago. It only lasted like a day or two. Um, Spirits of addiction. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say, yeah, it's spiritual also. Um, I don't know. Like, where do you draw the line between just someone's brain wiring versus something spiritual? Huh? I don't know. I mean, sometimes people get like a head injury and it screws up their head and it screws up their behavior. And I wouldn't say that that's a spiritual possession. It's just an injury, you know? Oh, Joey. Yeah, you have friends also who recovered. Yeah, I told the story before a long time ago. Anonymous says, might be something you ate. It was something I ate. Must have been the corn puffs. Yeah, cook them. That's what I do. Like, I take wormwood a little bit, but I don't do it unless it drags up. But when I did the foot pads, I was depressed for like 2 weeks and it was really bad. So then I did get the foot pads. Sometimes what helps is for me to just like get back to work and like get out of this apartment and go downstairs and clean Aaron's place and like just really change the scenery. Sometimes that'll do it. Uh, Taking a walk or whatever, like that won't fix it. It's sometimes it's just like if I don't pay attention to it, it'll go away on its own. But if it's really bad, I know at least that I can take a wormwood. I don't take like St. John's wort. I I hear that some people use that, but I've seen studies on wormwood. What happened was they were studying it in people who had Crohn's disease, and they discovered that they had an improved mood. Yeah, it's something like taking a shower, like maybe make you feel better for 5 minutes, but when it's like you're saturated with bad chemicals, it'll come back, you know? Oh, your son's in recovery. Okay, that's great. Cleaning is a miracle cure. Yeah, crime scene cleanup, Wanda. Yeah, you got it. Sometimes you got to push yourself out the door and go clean up. I should probably go clean his kitchen, but then I'm like, no, I'm depressed. I don't want to go. Um, but here's the thing, Aaron is sick. Check out a museum and it's like 11:16 at night. You see me like knocking on the door, like looking inside, like, and the security guard at the camera, like, qu'est-ce que tu fais là? And I'm gonna be like, mais c'est pour le musée parce que je suis déprimée. I'm depressed, let me in. Allez, va-t'en, va-t'en. C'est minuit. Um, take your advice too literally. Calls the police. Police show up. Hey, madame, qu'est-ce que tu fais là, toi? I'm like, the whole thing's playing out in my head. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going to do it, actually. It's too late. Too late at night. But yeah, Aaron is sick right now. He just started feeling bad and says he feels like the bugs are setting up shop in his body. So maybe, you know what? If he gets sick and I get sick, I'm reassured because it means it's just a bug. Because when Aaron gets sick, I'm always worried. Yeah, he's a bit sick. Yeah, I'm just starting today. Oh, Kanga. Hey, cool. Really? Is it Artemisia annua or is it absinthium? That's so nice of you. My mom used to grow wormwood. Thanks, Kanga. I think you have my email. We should talk on email. Okay, I'm glad you like that, Pam. Yeah, Aaron is sick, but he's probably okay. Thanks, you guys, for your prayers. He's been like really, really, really tired lately, like completely drained. I'm kind of worried about him, honestly. I hope it's nothing serious. Because I think because he's disabled is even harder for him. Yeah, Kanga, it's Artemisia, but is it Artemisia annua or is it Artemisia absinthium? Because it's the absinthium. Wait, pure wormwood essential oil? No, no, no. That is so toxic for your liver. I don't know what you do with that stuff. I don't know. You better find out what to do. Do not drink that stuff. It will kill your liver. People have died from it. Adrienne. It's not safe. I don't know what they use it for. They probably use like literally one drop in a tincture and then use like small amounts of the tincture. Do not like drink that stuff straight. Very dangerous. Anyway, so yeah, he's been, oh, Matrix, thanks for the advice. Then I'll have to take a newcomer chip or whatever. So yeah, Aaron, like, I think that when you're disabled, it's really hard to get medical care. I mean, you know, if you have an infection and they can see it, they'll treat it, or if you have an obvious symptom like a cough. But I noticed that they don't do any kind of screening care on him. You know, like most people, they do colonoscopies after 50. They don't do that when you're paraplegic. So you just pray you don't get colon cancer, basically. They don't. They never did prostate screening on him. I had to ask for it. So just pray you don't get prostate cancer. Like they don't do any screenings on him. I had to like go and ask them. I was like, hey, how come, you know, he's 62, now he's 63, 62, and he's never had any screenings. And if you can't feel your body very well, and you can't tell them, you know, if you come in, you're like, oh, I've got a pain right here. They'll be like, okay, it's there. You come in and you're like, I don't know what's wrong, you know. I think I have pain, but I'm not sure where it is. They'll be like, well, or they'll say, where does it hurt? Well, it doesn't really hurt. Well, it doesn't hurt. Then you're okay. But he's very, very tired all the time, and I'm concerned. I think either he has sleep apnea and it's just destroying him, which is probably it, or he's got something wrong with him, you know. But let's hope not. But anyway, now he has some kind of infection, and it's probably nothing serious. And I do worry about him though, because he's, you know, with his other issues, and because he has chronic wounds, so I'm always worried about him getting infections, you know, blood infections. And I try to take good care of him so it won't happen, but I do what I can, right? But I do worry about that. So I'll let you know how he's doing. It's probably nothing too serious. I just do worry about it. Hi, Napalm. Thanks. Yeah, he looks good though, eh, Wanda? He's 63 and a half. I know, it's crazy. I said to him, it's like I'm catching up to him. Like I'm getting older and he looks the same, you know? Well, no, if you see him like 15 years ago, he did look a lot younger. He looked like Bon Jovi. But now he looks like he's about 50 and I look like I'm about 50. So we're like about even, you know? His accident, oh, it was like 40 years ago. Or 39. It was really a long time ago. Peppermint tea. Okay. You know what I've been really into lately though is chamomile tea. And like I think I'm addicted to it, honestly. Seriously. It's like I can't sleep without it now. The other day I was like, I'm not gonna have any tea tonight. I went to bed and I was up till like 5:30 in the morning. But I blamed my alarm clock because Gunnar had an exam and I was supposed to get up early, and I hate sleeping with an alarm clock. It's like it's like it's stressing me out, the fact that I know it's gonna ring. Just shut up, leave me alone, let me wake up when I want to, you know. So I can't sleep when there's an alarm. It's really, really hard. Well, I can, but yeah. So I couldn't sleep the other night, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to have some of that chamomile tea, you know. Like I tried to skip a dose, but apparently it's not happening. And I was thinking, like, I'm gonna become like a total chamomile tea addict, you know? Start hiding packets of tea all over the house. Just one more cup of tea. And I'll quit tomorrow. Yeah, you stopped snoring since you've been on carnivore. You know, I put Aaron on the butterfly pea flower tea. I've never heard of that. I don't know if I'll remember it. I have to write it down. I got Aaron on the keto diet at one point, and it was kind of like carnivore diet. Yeah, the chat's all over the place. I know it's like a full ADD chat tonight. Totally. It's yeah. So yeah, I got him on the keto diet. So that was like cream, eggs, meats, cheese. And as I'm saying this, I'm thinking, oh my God, this stuff is so expensive now though. Seriously. It's like, you know what? We eat our little dinner, okay? We get like let's say like a small amount of meat like this, and it's like for 3 people, or like 500 grams of ground beef, or like these tiny little pork chops, or like 1 chicken, the breast part, and that's for 3 people. Like, we eat this tiny amount with like some rice or potatoes and some vegetables. And it's like, if you're hungry after that, Gunner, eat ramen noodles. Like, he literally eats ramen because, you know, yeah, like food is just like ridiculously expensive. What do you want? What do you want to eat after dinner, Gunner? You're still hungry? Eat ramen. And me, I just eat toast. I'm hungry now. I could go for some toast. But yeah, like it's just that diet is very, very expensive. So anyway, I got him on this diet at one point, and then he got off it. But you know what happened? It messed up his habits really badly because he had developed a taste for all these fatty foods like bacon and cream. And so he was still eating them, but now he added back the bread. And I'm like, it doesn't work that way, Aaron. It only works if you just eat the bacon and the cream and the eggs, but not if you eat it with bread. Then it's just this, standard American diet, and you're just gonna get fat all over again. How's his vitamin D level? I don't know. I think maybe it's okay because he's outside a lot. He's like all tan now. B12. Yeah, I take B12, but it doesn't fix me. I don't know. Yeah, he added the carbs back. So like keto diet plus carbs, it's just a really high fat diet. It's just no good. And then the weight came back. Anyway, Aaron cannot be told what to do. He just does what he wants, I felt kind of guilty after for like getting him started with all the fatty foods, and he still eats eggs. Like, he eats a ton of eggs till this day. But he's okay. He's not like gaining weight or anything. It's just pretty much the same. Scottish breakfast tea. Can I believe how expensive everything is? I know it's ridiculous. And they keep raising it. Like, it's like, they're going to raise it more. Wait, I already forgot the name of the pea. That I was going to write that down. Butterfly pea? Is that what you called it? I think you called it butterfly pea. Butterfly pea tea? Is that right? I'll take a note of it. Yeah, like, they started raising the prices, right? But at first they just like raise the thing by like $1. And then, a few months later it's another $1. And a few months later it's another $1. But you know what? I think they knew from the beginning that they were gonna like double the price. And it's almost like they just tried to like get us acclimatized to it by raising it slowly, but they knew the whole time that they were going to just double the price of everything. And even Costco, like, I used to go to Costco and I was like, well, at least Costco's cheap. Now it's like, I don't even want to go to Costco. I'm back at the grocery store. I only go to Costco for like dairy and bread and eggs because it's not cheap anymore. Oh, it's crazy. Ugh, Dr. Berg. Oh my God. Every time I talk about anything to do with weight, people start telling me Dr. Berg. Yeah, I'm sure he has all kinds of things. I don't want to hear about Dr. Berg anymore. I went there. I did what he said. But whatever. Here we are. I'm still fat. What's weird, though, about Aldi's, we don't have Aldi's here. I think that's an American thing. Yeah, about the prices. Okay, remember when the prices started going up? And they said it's because the price of gas went up, right? The price of gas went back down. Food still went up. And then they were like, oh, it's because the price of fertilizer. And I think that's what it was. During the pandemic, for some reason, they raised the price of fertilizer. And I think that's all they had to do was raise the price of fertilizer, and the effect is trickle all the way down. Why is the fertilizer so expensive, though? It can't be because of the gas. The gas is back down. Why? Yeah, fertilizer prices tripled. There you go. So logically, that should mean that our food prices should triple. What were we supposed to do? Oh, you liked my vlog at the fair, Wanda? Thanks. I'm glad I made it, I think I showed that to somebody and they're like, does anybody watch that? And I was like, yeah, some people do. Because of the war? But the price already went up before that. Sorry, I have like a pain in my ribs. Why is the fertilizer so expensive? Doesn't fertilizer come out of cows' asses? Why would that become more expensive? Seriously. What does cow shit have to do with the war in Ukraine? No, I know that they use these phosphate fertilizers. See, that's the price we're paying for using phosphate fertilizer. We should be using cow shit fertilizer. Then we wouldn't have these problems. And you should do like in the Middle Ages where you have 4 fields and you let one of them go fallow for the year, you know? You put the cow shit on it and you just leave it like that and you just let it sit for a year and then you rotate. That's what they used to do in the Middle Ages. What did they do? They didn't have phosphate fertilizer and their food didn't cost a day's wages for a loaf of bread. Oh, it's just a whole big racket. Oh, climate change policy. Now we're getting to the meat. They don't want farmers using fertilizer. Yeah, that's right. Use some extra bucks to tell you, oh my God, I just thought of something that's brilliant. Olivier, I'm going to sell my rabbit shit on Marketplace. I hope I don't get banned. That would be really great. Why is my nose itching so much? I think I have allergies in here. I think I'm allergic to, I'm kind of wondering, like, maybe I'm allergic to something in my own home. I get itchy, like, you know, and I get tired when I'm in here too. I felt better when I was in Europe. I'm going to open the window. Oh, maybe it's pollen. I don't know. Hold on a second. I get that, like, you know, the post-nasal drip where you're like, oh, I'm turning into Anita. But anyway. For $5, Olivier will go take a dump in your garden. You're so sick. That's what I like about you, though. I have to say, I appreciate it. Yeah, what happened with the Dutch farmers? I remember seeing all that on Telegram, but I don't really know exactly what it was. I think that they were being like forbidden to grow their stuff, or they weren't allowed to use fertilizers, or what? Oh my gosh, I'm a Bee says I've been subscribed since I was 15. I'm 32 now. That's amazing. You were like a teenager. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And you've like grown up with me. And then I'll be like 65 and you'll still be watching, you know? You'll be like middle-aged. And I'll be like an old granny here. And like nobody knows I exist because YouTube has put me in a sub-basement. And I'm a Bee will still know where I am. Mites with the rabbits. Oh, I don't know. Dust mites? I don't know what it is. I think it could be. Well, I have a lot of like pollen allergies, that's for sure. But I remember when I was in Europe, I didn't have this like drip and like, the allergies, let me tell you. Yeah, you too. You've been here for 8 to 10 years. That's cool. Yeah, what's cool is like we kind of get to know each other, know each other's personalities. But oh, I love you too. Love you too, Wanda. You're allergic to bunnies? I can't be allergic to rabbits. I've had them this whole time. I'm allergic to dogs though. Diatomaceous earth will kill the dust mite. No, I give it a good vacuuming. The problem with my place is oh, you too, Bella, 10, 11 years. Hey, that's cool. It's like toute la gang, you know? Like the old gang here. Oh my god. The problem is I'll clean, but I live like next to an off-ramp from the highway, so a lot of like dusty pollution comes in. And there'll be like a coating, like I can do this on my piano after like a few days, it just comes right back. It's like when I lived with my parents, we never had that. It was always clean. You could dust now and then, but it wasn't like here. It's like the dust just keeps coming. No, I don't think I'm allergic to birds. Oh my god, I have pigeons on the balcony. Maybe I am. Ugh, pigeons, man. And it laid more eggs, and I was like, I gotta throw those eggs off the balcony before they turn into pigeons. Babies, you know, inside. I can't kill the babies. And I forgot. And then they're growing up now on the balcony. They've taken over my balcony. It's like sublet. I don't even have access anymore. I open the door and they're like, shut the door, fuck. Pigeons out there, like just take over everything. Maybe it is the pigeons. But yeah, like I'll clean up and the rabbits will just mess everything up immediately. So it gets kind of discouraging after a while. But I'm pretty proud of myself. Like I did an okay job here. Oh, I'm a beast. That's funny how all the conspiracy theories came true and now people take me seriously. Yeah, wouldn't that be a scene at the Thanksgiving table where you're just like sitting there gloating? You're like, so. And they're like, yeah, she was right. Remember those years, like 10 years ago, when we were trying to warn people? And they're like, I'm telling you. Like, didn't you notice the lines in the sky? And they're like, oh my God, cuckoo, 911. Hello, psychiatric emergency? Yes. It's about my uncle. You know? No, no, I have an air conditioner. I'm afraid to turn on though. I'm a bit scared of air conditioners because I'm not sure how clean it is. But remember like 10 years ago, or I could say even like, yeah, 10 or like 12, 13 years ago. Oh my God, did we ever turn out to be right? And it's like, you get that satisfaction. You're like, I told you. But you don't want to say anything. I'm like past the point. I don't even go, yeah, say I told you. Because you know the crazy thing is, even, oh, hi, Lynn, even after everything that's happened, if you're like, yeah, so you notice how, like, what I told you, like, exactly that's what happened. And yeah. And they'll be like, oh, not at all. And they're so paranoid. Like, I mean, they're so convinced that they still think that you're crazy and paranoid because they just don't even want to look at it. You know what I mean? Like when all the evidence is in their face, and they've got like 3 family members with cancer and like 2 that died, and you know, like they're all sick because of whatever, and yet they're like, oh, you're just paranoid. I just shut my mouth at this point. I didn't say nothing. I figure whatever. One day they're gonna die, and after they die and they get to heaven, they'll be like, "Oh, she was right." You know, they say like when you die, like you know, like then you see the truth about everything. So now it's only through the glass darkly, right? Once you get to the other side, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I see what you mean about that." Or people say, "I knew all along. I just didn't want to be so out there. I was just following the crowd. I didn't want to stand out. I didn't want to be a troublemaker." I always know, though. You don't have the ability to shut your mouth. I've gotten good at it. I had this one video I did with Aaron where we went to have Thanksgiving dinner at my mother's place. My father, I think, was already passed away. Yeah, but we had dinner there, like with my family. And before we leave, we're like, remember, don't talk about the weather. Shh. And then I'm at the dinner table. I'm like, so we've been having some really interesting weather lately. And Aaron's like, shut up. And I'm like, yeah, just normal weather, right? And then I'm like, so what do you think of Pippa Middleton's ass? I'm trying to make appropriate conversation. We're like Googling, what do people talk about, you know? Besides like chemtrails and stuff like that. What do people Google topics for conversation that normal people have? How to not sound like a conspiracy theorist at the Thanksgiving table. Oh, good night, Salty. Good night. Have a good shift at work. Yeah, it was rough, man. There was a time where I felt like, I don't know, I felt like it was really Twilight Zones. Like nobody wants to listen to me. Like I remember the first time that I saw these chemtrail planes, you know, and your shift is over? What? I thought you were just going to work. Oh, okay. Like yeah, I was at my parents' place and I was with Aaron, and I think they thought Aaron was a bad influence, you know. And I was like, look, you see those planes? You see that stuff that's coming out? You notice how it's spreading? And I could see my mother's talking. She thinks that something with the airplanes. Like they think I'm completely crazy. I overheard them. They're talking about the airplanes, Ted. They thought I was delusional. It's like, oh God. It's like Twilight Zone. Now what? First she's our problem teenager. And then she's a drug addict, and now she's completely insane. Now she thinks the government's trying to kill us. You know, cuckoo. So I was at first I thought they would listen to me, and then I was like, no, it's not gonna work. Once again, I'm the crazy one. It just backfired. But you know where like it went to like another level with the whole flat earth thing. At that point I was like, no, I don't want to hear it. I felt like I was like the way my family was with me with like the other stuff. when it came to flat earth, I was like, stop right now. We're not going down that road. And I would like fight with Aaron about it because he was like, oh, I can't even talk to you anymore. But it was like every time we go somewhere, we're on the bus or something, we're trying to go somewhere together. And then no matter what the conversation started out as, it always ended up with the flat earth. Like every time he was going through a phase, you know, we could be talking about absolutely anything. Next thing you know, talking about how the earth is flat again. And I learned to shut my mouth. Because at first I'd be like, yeah, Aaron, but did you ever notice how it's always only internet people that say this? And like there's no scientist whistleblowers? Because with all the other stuff that has been come under like scrutiny or that's come under question, there are scientific people that have done research on it or even like published studies that are, hey guys, look what we found, you know, like, did you know that the study found this? And like, hey, this is something we should be concerned about. Or like, you know, there it was just like scientific debate and the debate was being silenced. But with this, there was no scientific debate. Like all the people who do physics follow like the laws of physics, and the laws of physics are based on the circular or spherical model of the earth and this kind of universe that we have, right? So if all physics calculations are based on this model, but the earth is flat, then they won't work. You know, it would throw everything off. And like, you know, when they calculate where there should be a new planet, but they haven't found it yet, they're using that all based on like the math and the physics that's based on the model of the earth that we have now. So if it was all wrong, then that shouldn't work. You wouldn't be able to find that planet. So you're never going to convince me that the entire field of physics has been completely wrong about the shape of the earth. I mean, hollow earth, though, that may be true. I'm not like, nah, I don't want to hear about it. Hollow earth, I think it's possible. And I think maybe the Nazis are really down there. I don't know about that. But don't tell me the earth is flat, because I think you've been psyoped. I'll be honest with you. I think you've been suckered. And I think that, and the reason I think that is, oh, Zeke, no, you think it's flat? Oh my God, I don't want to know. Not talking to you at the dinner table. Yeah, so like way back in the day, they were like, what do we do about all these truthers? How do we get rid of them? And they said like, oh, we shall get rid of them. They had plans. I did a video about it, and I told you about this like back in 2012, and I explained to you the psyops that they were using for the mainstream media and the alternative media and the internet and all those things. Remember that fake news? You never hear the word fake news anymore. What happened to the fake news epidemic? Remember the epidemic of like stories about worms in McDonald's hamburgers and whatever? Okay, where's the fake news? It's because those sites were probably made by the government, so they have an excuse to like take stuff down, be like, oh, fake news epidemic. We had fake news back in the day. It was called urban legends, and they were published in newspapers. And there's no law that says a newspaper has to publish the truth. Did you guys know that? There was even like a court case about that in the US. And the media has no obligation to tell the truth. There's absolutely no law against it. Otherwise, you'd have court cases for people lying. There's no obligation. But the thing was, the media is allowed to lie, but they don't want us to freely share information. So they made up this whole thing about fake news, misleading information. And it's true, some information is misleading. But I mean, look, what is this, a nanny state? You know, live and learn. If you take advice from the internet, that's on you. I mean, you just, oh, well, I Googled it. First page of Google, it said this, so it must be true. I mean, you know, if that's how you operate, well then, I'm sure that you need protection in a lot more areas of your life besides just what you Google on the internet. You know, probably every time you go outside, you're at risk because you do dumb things. But anyway, they said they were going to get rid of the problem. And what they did was they like put out this fake stuff and these psyops, and there were people that were actually just also like putting out these theories, these completely bogus things. But what they did was they helped them get traction by like an army of sock puppet accounts promoting their stuff in all these forums like Godlike Productions and whatever. Promote. Where did all these people come from? Where all these sock puppets come from supporting this stuff? It got it a lot of publicity. And they were absolutely absurd, some of these stories. I'm not even talking about flat earth. I'm talking about like way before that. And people like get confused, you know? Remember there was a guy saying that I was Sarah Palin? You think I'm Sarah Palin? You still think I'm Sarah Palin? Yeah. And that's where a lot of stuff started with that, like totally confused people, and that led into the whole like nothing ever happened. And there was so much. And that guy's in jail for meth now, actually. So that's who you were listening to, if you're one of them, which you're probably not if you're here. So Bitzapple says it's great for discrediting other things that might be legit also. Exactly. You nailed it. That's exactly what they did. Rather than try to push facts, or their version, or, you know, the Warren Commission report or whatever, they went the other way and did all the stuff to totally discredit the alternative voices. They did it on purpose. They helped to promote completely bogus stuff so they could be like, look at these people. They're totally insane. Look, they think the earth is flat. Don't listen to them. That's what happened. It was out of nowhere in the mid-late 2000s. Yeah, where was it before? Where was all the fake news before? At that point, you couldn't even surf the internet or do anything without encountering completely bogus stories like urban legend level stuff. It was everywhere. It was flooded. Now it's like, before that it wasn't there, and now it's not there either. But at the time it was flooded, and it was spreading like wildfire on Facebook, and it was being promoted. And it started out with the stories of the, you know, it's like the Chihuahua in the microwave, you know. It started out with the stories of like the McDonald's is made from worms, and then it led to like nobody ever got hurt, nobody died, you know, this was all fake. It's all done with CGI and whatever. And I mean, there were some cases, like I remember there was a guy reporting on the war in Syria, and there was like leaked footage where he was like talking to the correspondent in America, and he was like, yeah, they're doing this and there's that. And not to say there wasn't a war in Syria, like whatever, there's wars all the time. He was making it sound like he was in the middle of the fire, like he was in the middle of the action. But it was leaked that like the footage without the dubbing. So he was like, yeah, this and that. And then they dubbed on top of it all these sounds of like explosions and things like that. That's like production, you know? And there was a whole bunch of things like that. There was a whole bunch of like pieces of footage where it turned out like the journalists weren't really where they said they were, or like effects were added in later. But that doesn't mean that the event didn't happen. It just means that they didn't want to be in the middle of it, and they just faked being there. So how good is their reporting? We don't know, but it doesn't really prove either way that it happened or it didn't happen, you know? Jennings from ABC, what was the story? Like I kind of vaguely remember one. There was like a few like that. They got outed. Oh, the sinking of the Titanic. Oh, hi, Tina. Oh, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, they had all these billionaires on board. What was it that they were opposing? It was like something to do with the creation of the Federal Reserve or something. Hey, Tina. What was it that those billionaires were, they were all like against something. I can't remember what it was now. John, my family was actually in it, so yeah. I do believe, obviously. Please. Alien reveal. Yeah, so that's another thing. They like when it's kind of like a slow news day, it's like a slow conspiracy news day, they'll like to put stuff in there that that like makes people like start thinking about aliens again, you know? Like they'll make it like somebody will come out and say, oh, well, you know, we're revealing this or that, the government knows about such and such. But I think that some of it's not alien technology, it's like military technology. Oh, don't tell me it wasn't really the Titanic. I've heard that too. They say it was another boat that sank. No, I think it sank, and I think that they like it was a conspiracy to kill certain people or something. But what's weird is the captain went down with the ship. Who's shape-shifting again? The Lusitania? No, I don't think so. That was like the sister ship, wasn't it? The Fed, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, the Federal Reserve, isn't that what it was, Adrienne? It was like they were opposing this Federal Reserve System, I think, and they just like offed them all. But what's weird is like the captain that night was going really, really fast, and he was repeatedly told to slow down, like over and over again, and he just completely ignored it. So does that mean that the captain was in on the plot? Because if he hadn't been going so fast when they hit the iceberg, then the boat wouldn't have gone down. And so how did they get the captain to basically kill himself by blasting through the water and hitting an iceberg? I mean, I don't know. There's gaps there. It certainly seemed convenient for them. Maybe the captain wasn't like a mind control slave. Maybe the Titanic never sunk, Lincoln, seriously. But there were people who, the Olympic, well, does it matter what the name of the boat is though? Like seriously, does it matter? I mean, what, you think there was like 3,000 people that died. I mean, look, a boat sank with a lot of people on it, including a bunch of rich people. What do you think they did? You'd have to like really concoct like a huge confabulated conspiracy theory to figure out how the Titanic didn't really sink and it was the Olympic or whatever. Oh hi baby.
Hey.
Are you here to play guitar?
No, I just need...
We were just trying to figure out what kind of conspiracy was involved with the Titanic. Anyway, guys, it doesn't really matter. I mean, oh, you're coming to get a guitar. Would you play something?
I wanted to.
I had to
learn something.
Oh, he's working on something. Come on, say hi at least. Don't just ignore them.
Oh, well.
Say hi.
Hey guys.
Anyway, I don't know. An insurance scam. Okay, look, I don't know that much about the Titanic, so I wouldn't know, but it got wrecked and repaired, and it's okay, maybe they did. Maybe they did, but in the end, people died. That's what matters, right? Who really cares if it was the Olympic or the Titanic? I don't understand. What's the big deal? Okay, yeah, okay, so it was an insurance claim. But I mean, they JP Morgan canceled at the last minute. Something's weird about it, though. I agree, something is weird. Maybe it was a different boat. Maybe JP Morgan knew, but how did they get the captain to run into an iceberg? Was he under mind control? It's possible. They could have put him like on a program where he just like must drive the ship as fast as possible, and he just keeps driving it like super fast, even though they keep telling him to slow down. That's the only way I could see that happening. Because he ended up dying, so like who would do that? How did they make him wreck the ship? Oh, what bad humor, Kukum. I must have missed it. Oh, and the Vanderbilts canceled too. Anderson Cooper's family. Maybe he was in on it. A promise of money for his family? Oh my god, you think the captain would do that for money for his family? Who could do that? Maybe he was Epstein. Well, it's true, nobody really knows what happened to him. We don't really know. He was trying to make a speed record, but like it's starting to like make less sense though. Like I'm starting to get confused. So it's a conspiracy. He wants to wreck the boat. Maybe they set him up like, hey, just go really fast. The boat is indestructible and nothing will happen. Just go really fast and you'll be famous. You'll have a record and that's a happy ending, right? And he's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just do it. And maybe they're like, no matter what they say, do not slow the boat down. For you see, there is no need. It's indestructible. And he's like, I gotcha. So then they're like, slow it down, damn it, slow it down. And he's like, they warned me about this. I'm not going to listen to them. I know that I keep going. I'm going to make that record. I'm going to get rich. And then he wrecks the boat. That's possible. It's possible. And plus, it's the Olympic. Where's the Titanic then? What happened to it? Well, maybe you already explained that. Anyway, it's possible, but in the end, the bottom line is that people did die. So let's not go there that like they didn't actually die. I'm sure they did. Were the recordings faked? Good heavens. Like, it never ends. Jekyll Island was the result of the Titanic. Yeah, well. Oh, you think I'm a good narrator? Oh, thanks. I'm a great narrator for people who have ADD. I'm like, perfect, because I keep going on tangents. Maybe he was simply trying to get out of a flat earth discussion. The captain. Yeah, maybe. Ugh, I used to know this guy. I used to do these like live shows at this place. What was it called? It was called Smoke and Mirrors. It was like this gallery. He's not going to watch this video. He'll never know. But there was this guy there. He was an artist. It was his gallery. And he used to talk about flat earth all the time. And he was like the only one. And like every time he would go up and do a show, it was always about flat earth. But he would like paint while he was talking about it. And he did some really cool presentations where he would show how easy it is to create the illusion of like a spherical, celestial body using some kind of projection that you can't tell the difference, whether it's really round or it's just the projection or whatever. But nobody there took him seriously. And then it turned out he had a brain tumor. So we were all like, well, oh, that's why he was so crazy. Because he also thought that the police from the station across from where he lived were like watching him and were out to get him. He was the kind of guy that if he was out in a park and there was a helicopter, he's like, oh, they're here for me. So that's all a bit like loopy thinking. And then when we found out he had a brain tumor, we were like, oh, that's why, But he continued to think that the earth was flat. And apparently he's very successful with his art now. He paints floors in, I think, Las Vegas or something, or somewhere in California. But, I mean, this was like, not 15 years ago, but maybe like 10 years ago. And I think we just humored him, I never thought it was going to get so big. When I saw people talking about flat earth, I was like, what? Flat earth? Are you serious? That's what that guy, what's his name, used to talk about. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're out to get you. Yeah. But it doesn't mean they are out to get you either, though. Did I experience the Canadian fires? No, because they're happening. Oh, hey, thank you so much, love. Thank you for your super chat. Oh, you're leaving. Okay, well, have a good night. It was nice to see you here. Thanks again. The fires, I'm like here in Montreal, and the fires are happening somewhere in the north of Quebec. But we have had smog, and we have air quality warnings. Or we did. Because there's a lot of like particles in the air, but it's not like you're in Montreal and like there's a fire on the mountain or something like that. It's I looked at the map, and on the border between Quebec and Ontario, but like way up north, like not anywhere near here. I guess where the forests are, it's up there. So we're not affected. I cannot believe how long we've been talking. I don't want to leave without showing you my latest find that I was so happy, and then I'm going to have to go. Jordan Peterson? I don't know. Like, I've listened to him a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know enough about him. He's a psychiatrist or something. I can't say. I kind of like unplugged from all the stuff. Like, for the first like year and a half of the pandemic, I was very on it and following it very closely. And at first I was really like, I thought it was the real thing. And I even was, I really thought like it's an epidemic of a new disease and it's really dangerous. I believed it. After a little while, I was like, wait a minute, how come like nobody I know is getting it? Like, how come, like, who's getting this thing? So I started to wonder. I was like, how deadly is it? And then they started saying, the truth was mostly it was older people and sick people who were getting it. Then my mother had it, and then Laura was working in the COVID ward, and she was telling me what was going on, and I was like, wait a minute, that's weird. And then I started really hearing from the nurses and the caregivers and inside those places, and I discovered that what they were doing, and the doctors, that they were like locking the old people's homes down. And they were like locking people in their rooms. They were drugging them up to the point where they couldn't eat or drink. And if they tested positive for COVID, they would give them this cocktail. I'm sending them on their way. So I was like, well, if it's so deadly, then like, I mean, you know, if you add in like all the damage that did, like then you had some like people like the doctor at the Jewish was saying they're showing up starved and dehydrated, and the homes would be like, yeah, it's because of COVID, but it's like, yeah, but you also didn't give them an IV, and you also gave them all these medications, and they couldn't eat or drink. So my mother had it. I told you guys before, she was okay until they didn't give her anything to eat or drink for 3 days, and she almost died of dehydration, and they would have said it was COVID. But because Laura was working on the COVID ward, got her an IV, and the next morning she was fine. So it's like, wow, so like she was miraculously cured. What happened, you know? Anyway, the more that like this went on, the more I was like, wait a minute. And then you guys know, like I went, look, I covered the protests, and I was talking about, then it became much more about lockdowns than about COVID itself. It stopped being like the original with the Wuhan strain. We were all scared. Delta, we're like, oh my God, Delta. But then like once it got to like Omicron, and I'd already had it, and I was like, well, okay, it was weird. It didn't seem like a normal disease, but then when we'd all had it in Quebec, so many of us had it, and other places had lifted restrictions so long ago, and they are still locking us down. And it was like, hey, we've been locked down for 2 years. Like, this is getting weird, you know? And it was more about trying to get as many people as possible to take the shot. And they were using all these tools that they had to motivate people, let's just say, to cooperate with that. It was a lot of pressure. It was like, you can't do this, you can't do that. So it shifted from like, oh, look how dangerous it is, look how many people are dying, to you can't go to the movies if you don't do what we say. That was what we were hearing, you know. And meanwhile, Lara's working at the hospital, and she's like, yeah, we've got all these COVID patients because as soon as you test positive in geriatrics, they send you up to the negative pressure rooms, and you're stuck there for 2 weeks. But this was a fact. She has a ward full of people and staff. They're all vaccinated, but they're bringing it in because only the unvaccinated had to get tested. So it's still coming in with the visitors and the staff. And these people they're testing positive, but they've had a couple shots and they're not really having symptoms, but they're testing positive. They were already in the hospital. They're geriatric patients. Now they tested positive. Now they're sending them up to the negative pressure rooms for 2 weeks. And the government's like, our hospital's full of COVID patients. Well, if your protocol is to send people to the negative pressure rooms for 2 weeks when they test positive, then yeah, it's full of COVID patients. So after a while, I was like, what the hell? You know? I mean, really. Laura went through so much. It was so hard on her, what she went through with the treatment that she got, that she finally left. Like, she's no longer working at the hospital. So anyway, point being, I was following all this, and after a while I was just so fed up that I was like, okay, we know what happened, we know what's going on. Everybody that watches my videos, everybody knows, so let's just move on, you know. I'm passing the torch. Like, I'm not talking about this anymore. Kokum, they got more money for reporting COVID cases. Well, I think in the beginning, like in certain places, they got funding. In the very beginning, they got money, and they got money for people on ventilators. But like 2 or 3 years in, like, I don't think they're getting money for it. And you know, like, I remember in the beginning when they made these field hospitals, they set up a huge tent hospital in Montreal, and it was like they never used it. And they set one up in like an auditorium, Verdun Auditorium. They never used any of that. It was like, well, but I did have a neighbor who died of COVID, and he wasn't even that old. He was like 45. So there were people who died. It's not like nobody died. It wasn't like that. Like, people did get sick and die. Mostly it was older people, you know. It would have been, you know, mostly like seniors and sick people. But what was really awful was that a lot of the seniors basically failed to thrive because of what was happening. Like, they suffered failure to thrive. I mean, imagine somebody like my mother. Remember when she had COVID the last time, and she was in isolation in that room for 10 days? And that was this year, 2023. It was like more than 3 years into this. And the government, oh, this is crazy. The government is still paying COVID agents in Quebec, not where you are probably, still paying COVID agents to sit in front of the room of my 88-year-old mother to make sure she stays in her bed when they're on a ward, they're all sharing air, they've all had it, they're all gonna get it, they all did get it. Making sure she stays in there, isolating my poor old mother, which is horrible for somebody who's old and, lucky they let me go in there. They had money for that. And here's another thing they have money for. Now, our wonderful government is training another like 10,000 PABs. Like, that's like what do you call it? An orderly to help in the retirement homes. Because the retirement homes are understaffed. But you know what's really going on? And I know this because I deal with the retirement home because I go there all the time. And this is what I've been told by staff. They're laying people off. The reason that they're understaffed is not because there's nobody there. It's because there were a lot of people that quit and took early retirement during the pandemic. It's true. But they're laying them off. They're cutting their hours down. Well, if they're so understaffed, why? There's a guy called Greg who works at my mother's home. Wonderful guy, tons of experience. He just had his hours cut down to like almost nothing. Why? If you're so short-staffed, why are you laying people off? You know why? Because they don't have the funding. Because our government isn't giving them the funding to hire enough staff. So on the one hand, our media is reporting the retirement homes are understaffed. True enough. And they're reporting our government is training 10,000 people. And they're giving them a $12,000 bursary or $9,000 or whatever while they do their training. That's true. But what they're not telling you is the reason they're understaffed is because the government doesn't give them money to hire those people. And all those people that are getting trained now, they're not going to have a job after. That's literally what's happening here. And I know this for a fact. What the actual F? You know what I mean? Like, what? They're not going to have a job when they're done. I mean, maybe it'll come in handy down the road, but they're going to be surprised because they won't be able to get hired. Well, they'll be able to get hired privately. Like, there's tons of people like me doing home care in the community because there's a lot of people that need caregivers, Hold on, I just want to get my drink. There's a huge need for caregivers, especially now because a lot of people don't want to put their loved ones into retirement homes because they know what happens. But yeah, if they expect to actually get a job working in a retirement home after, they're going to be surprised. No, they're not like increasing labor to reduce pay because in the end, they only have a certain amount of positions. And they're always like, oh, we don't have enough people working here. It's because you're not hiring them. No, it's totally crazy. It's like they make themselves look good by training all these people. And they're giving so much money to them. Why don't they give them money to the home so they can hire them in the first place? See, because that's what they're just taking money away from where it's needed right now. Like the people in those homes, they need caregivers. They're taking that money away and hiring a bunch of people who won't be able to get a job later. Like, what the hell? And it's not good because in my mother's place, there's like 30 people there and they all have dementia. And on the weekend, there's like 3 staff members for all of them. And, when they're under stress and pressure, like, it's harder to do a good job. Oh, yeah, I remember my mom, like, she wasn't doing well. Oh, maybe when no, I don't know, when she came out of the hospital? Oh, no, wait. Oh, no, I know what you're talking about. Oh, my God, yes, I remember that. Yeah. No, my mom's doing okay. I just went to see her again. I usually see her on Tuesdays too, but I didn't go today. But I was there like not long ago, a couple days before. What? You hear there's tanks and military in Montreal? Where? Who's telling you this? What tanks and military? I mean, we have like a military thing up on Côte de Neige. Yeah, we have a military base, so they have tanks. Yeah, but it's not like tanks in the street. What I'd really like to know what you heard in Hochelaga. Oh, you have a military base in Hochelaga? Well, there's one up on Côte de Neige. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Hippy Dippy. See, she was locked up in senior apartments for 7 months. That's horrible. That's awful. Yeah, a lot of really shady stuff went down. Anyway, like I'm out of the loop now with like all this news. Like you asked me who Jordan Peterson is, and I'm like, I don't know. Because I'm just so done. I've told you many times, like I just watch these other people. I still like I get the updates, but I'm not doing it. I'm not talking about it anymore. What's this? You want to visit your aunt? She's she's in a caregiver hospital. You want to bring her Sideritis scardica to prevent dementia. You know, the crazy thing is my mother did everything right to prevent dementia. She did all the things, the exercise, the diet, the coconut oil, the turmeric, like you name it. She did everything. And then she had an operation. Actually, what she had was she had her breast implants removed. She had to because one of them they were both ruptured. She had mammograms. I told you the story. She had like a tumor in her breast, and they gave her so many mammograms, they busted her implants. Apparently, it happens a lot, which is why I always got ultrasounds because of what happened to her. And nobody wanted to fix it. Finally, they took it out, but it was kind of a really complicated surgery because I guess it had leaked everywhere. And they gave her 3 blood transfusions, and after that, she like went straight into dementia. And the Alzheimer's Society or whatever, they say that sometimes it's triggered by surgery. And they were trying to figure out what it is about the surgery, and they finally realized that it had to do with the surgery itself, not the medications and stuff, and especially if you had transfusions. So maybe it was the transfusion and or the surgery, something. That's why she got it, because she was doing everything right, and I don't know, something like triggered it, but it was right after her operation. She probably was getting it already before, but it was like not noticeable. And maybe it would have been very, very, very slow, and it wouldn't have been noticeable until she was like 90. But then it just boomed, like when she was 81. 80, she was totally fine. 81, it was like, oh my God, we have to do something. It was really fast. Gut-brain connection. Well, there's different kinds of dementia. Like one of them is vascular, and that has to do with the circulation in your brain. So I don't know about the gut. It's got to do with like the circulatory system, and one of them is called Lewy body dementia. And the Lewy bodies are like these little spots that they find. I don't know how they get in there, but it's not the gut. It's something like maybe there's an infectious trigger, or I don't know. I really don't know. And then there's Alzheimer's, which is like an umbrella term for probably a few things, sort of. I mean, they'll say Alzheimer's, like they'll use the word Alzheimer's, but they say, well, it means like when you're losing your memory in a certain kind of way. You know what? My personal suspicion is my mother had been exposed to Lyme disease when she was younger, and she had like short course of treatment for it. And, it's a spirochete, right? And syphilis is also a spirochete, and that can cause a kind of syphilis dementia, right? And this isn't medical advice. I'm just giving you my opinion. I kind of suspect that there's an infectious trigger for some dementia. That's what I think. And I'm not the only one. It's not like I just came up with this. I mean, it's not me, actually. There's research on it. Thinking out loud says the prions. Well, prion disease is different. It's a very rapid, like dementia that it's just like super fast. That's like Creutzfeldt-Jakob syndrome. But I kind of think that like we just haven't figured it out yet, and there might be some kind of infection that like eventually it gets into your brain, because that whole thing about that it's because of the plaques, the beta amyloid, that was based on like a certain study that it turned out recently it came out that was sort of faulty research, and that like the next 50 years was based on some really bad study, and so that was sort of not accurate, you know. You have an aunt who died of mad cow disease. Wow, that's horrible. Yeah. How did the C60 work out? I told you guys before, I love the C60, but I mean, it's just expensive, you know. It's worth it to have some around. I was taking like smaller amounts of it. I should try it now that I have my implants out, because it did help. It did at the time, but I think having my implants in was like outweighing those things. Wait, what's this? A professor? The professor what? Cajun. What professor in Louisiana? Wait, I lost track of your chat. Oh, you're gonna have to tell me. Yeah, mad cow is a prion. You know what was a scary thing was that like apparently prions are impossible to kill. I mean, so I've heard. I don't know if this is true. And I remember seeing this one like sort of documentary where they were like, well, what if it gets into the dental equipment? I don't know if that's ever happened, but I don't know. I remember seeing this other documentary where they were saying that they don't do autopsies on the brains of people with dementia in case some of it is prion disease, and you don't know. She was gone in a matter of days. Oh, the professor who got mad cow disease, she was gone in a matter of days. Oh my god, yeah, it's like really, really fast. Hold on a second. Oh, that was your aunt. Oh, your aunt was a professor? Oh my god, she got that and it like took out her brain in a couple of days. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it's horrible. It's like one of the worst nightmare scenarios. Must be the scariest thing. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm so sorry. That must have been awful. Oh, she was your cousin. Oh, that's awful. Well, anyhow, I mean, my mom did whatever she could, you know. Prions survived the rendering process. Yeah, I heard that prions are like impossible to get rid of. But yeah, spirochetes are not impossible to get rid of. I just kind of wondered. I'd seen some research that they thought it might be connected to other diseases or viruses, that maybe it's related, you know. And we're all exposed to things like that. So, but it is kind of weird that it seems like more people are getting it now, don't you think? And it's not because they're living longer, because the life expectancy actually went down a bit in the U.S. in the last few years. Dementia just keeps going up. I mean, they say, oh, it's because they're not dying of other things. I'm not sure, though. Anyway, whatever it is, I don't think there's any easy answers. Oh, yeah, it's because somebody was saying they were going to bring the supplement to keep dementia away. Honestly, like, maybe I'm just cynical, but I really don't think you can just... I think there's no, like, guarantees. You can try things and maybe slow it down or postpone it, but I don't think that we found a solution. Hi, Space Orbison. I was about to leave. I don't know. I want to show you something. Show you my finds of the week. I sold a few things, eh? I sold the belly dancing costume. I made a post on it. On the, like on YouTube, like a post. And I sold this really nice bustier that I had from La Senza. And then I thought, what if it's a guy who watches me from YouTube and he like just bought my underwear? Because I still have them here. See, I have the undies that go with it. And I'd only worn it once for a photo shoot. They're like this kind. Look, I don't wear this. Look, they're, you know, they're G-string and they're new, but you can't sell your underwear on Poshmark or really anywhere, you know? But it was like, oh, it's such a shame. What's gonna happen to them? You know, it's just a shame to like throw them out. So when they bought the bustier, I thought it's a girl, right? Then I realized that the name, it seems like it's a guy. And I was like, why is a guy buying my bustier? And before I had realized that, when I printed the label, I was like, well, I sent a message. I was like, hey, you know, I have the I have the panties that go with it. Would you like them? Um, like I have one that I never wore. Maybe I'll just send it. And they didn't answer me, so I was like, screw it. I'll just put the panties in, you know. And these two I did wear, but just like momentarily. So I put the bustier and I put the panties inside. I sent it off, but then I realized on the shipping label, it's like, that's a guy's name. And I'm like, what's he doing with the bustier and the panties? Maybe it's for his wife. Or maybe it's just a mailing address. And then I thought, what if it's like a guy and he just bought my underwear? Okay, whatever, you know. I have more if you want, actually. But yeah. Oh, hi, crazy Doge gamer. You're depressed? Oh, you're only 13? Are you serious? Oh my god. Puberty. Aw. Only 13. My son is 15. Gunner! Come in here for a second. Because there's somebody in my chat. He's only 13. Come say hi. He's playing video games. Come here! Just ask yourself, what would Jesus do? Trying to get my kid in here. Oh, you're a girl. What do you mean you can't? We'll just sit tight there, crazy Doge gamer. I'll see if I can get my kid in here. He'll say hi to you. Oh, I just get depressed when I get sick. You know, like it's a physical thing. It's like a biochemical thing. So y'all are distracting me for now. I feel a bit better. I don't want to think about being depressed. There's nothing worse than feeling depressed. If you're a 13-year-old girl, well, that makes all the sense in the world, because I mean, when I went through menopause, it reminded me of what I went through when I went through puberty. It was like going through puberty in reverse. It felt just like puberty, but with all the suffering and none of the benefits. Because like you come out of puberty and you're a beautiful young woman, you come out of menopause and you're like an old crone, you know, but you go through the same thing. But it's a lot of hormones. It's very hard because you feel like it's all real, but a lot of it, it's like just the chemical effect of your hormones. But it's like when you're in menopause, like you get this horrible like emotional ups and downs, and you get sad and depressed. You feel so bad, and it makes you feel like, yeah, there's something wrong with my life. And then I realized, actually, no, it's your hormones. You know, my hormones doing it. For me, I suffered like that for 8 years, and then I finally got on hormone replacement therapy. Gunner is playing a video game. My menopause was horrible, and people kept telling me, oh, you don't need hormones, just ride it out. You like how I can say it on YouTube and say this, and you're so wholesome? Oh man, I really, you know, what do I have to lose? I mean, you know, I'm sharing my experience. I watch other people and their experience helps me, so I don't care. I mean, most of the people here is people in menopause anyway, so. I mean, people who are like either in it or just had it. Did I do HRT? Yeah, I had to. I was going to lose my damn mind. Yeah, you know what I found out? It's a really big mistake. If like some people, they still produce a little bit of estrogen even after their ovaries have shut down. They produce it from the gut or something like that. But some people don't, and those are the ones that really end up with bone problems. Like already I have osteopenia, like it weakened all my bones. And also it's just like it's a hormone, so like when you're missing it, everything starts to go, you know. But like I said, some people still produce a bit, and that's enough to keep them okay. But I think in my case, I probably don't produce any. It's 2 a.m. where you are. It's 12:22, and Gunner doesn't have to go to school, so it's okay. I can talk to you. Testosterone from a boyfriend is supposed to help? You mean like the gel? Aaron was on that gel at one point, years ago, like when we met. I wanted Gunner to come and say hi. Gunner! He's being selfish. Okay, well, while he's getting, I'll stay here for a bit longer and talk to you guys. I want to show you what I scored this week. Oh yeah, that's what I was telling you. So I sold the underwear. Who knows who bought it? I should do that again, eh? Hey y'all, letting you know I'm selling my underwear on Poshmark. So if you're interested, you know, check it out. It's only the bras though. Yeah, because I just had my implants out, so like I might as well sell the bras. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Just trying to help the environment. 2 for the price of 1. Anyway, so I sold that, and what else did I sell? Oh yes, I had these nice vintage 1960s blue soup bowls that I bought in Ville Saint Laurent with Gunner. Those sold. And I want to show you, I bought some stuff, of course. It's like I sell something and something else comes in. Hold on. I'll show you what I scored this week. I mean, it's just a couple of things. Look at this. This is such a weird skirt, but it's really cool. And it's new, right? So I saw the skirt and I was like, what is that? It's supposed to fit me because it was like in the larger sizes, but it turns out it doesn't. And it's like, it's stretchy. See? And it's water resistant. And it's like, why would you need a water resistant skirt? Maybe you do. Maybe like if you live in a rainy place like in England and you don't want your skirt to get rained on. Or maybe if you have a bully on your ass and they keep throwing water on you to make it look like you peed, you get yourself one of these and it doesn't work, right? It's so satisfying. And it's by this designer called Samuel Dong. So I was like, Samuel Dong, I've never heard of that. And I looked it up, and this is like a $200 skirt. This is like a designer, like high-end designer skirt. New with tags. And they put little like roses in there. And it's got this whole thing about how it's stretchy and it's water resistant. It's not latex. Not at all. It's fabric. It's fabric, and it's like all these little sort of tiles. I mean, it's very unusual, but you know, designer clothes are always a bit weird, right? Well, I bought it anyway, and I haven't listed it yet, but I will. But I wouldn't list it for even 50%. I'd probably list it for $50. But somebody could have this nice skirt. And, oh, let me just say one thing before I forget. I don't ever want to hear that resellers are ruining it for the thrift stores, because you found a Saint Laurent blouse for $6.99. Oh my God, where do you live? So crazy. That's amazing. Good for you. I never find that. They keep all that really good stuff around here. They don't even let it go to the thrift store. They send it somewhere else. I don't know where, a consignment store or something. They don't do that. In Montreal, you'll never find anything really. Like, you'll find like obscure designers like Samuel Dong, but you will not find Yves Saint Laurent. I did find two, what's it called? Diane von Furstenberg. I thought I might have told you. Maybe not. Please read your comments. You're a furry? We all have our preferences in the bedroom, but usually it's better that you keep it in the bedroom, you know? Because, like, everybody does their own thing in their bedroom, but it's your business, you know what I mean? We all have our preferences. So, I mean, like, I get the whole, like, dressing up in costume, because, like, I dress up like Anita, so, like, I get it. I have a theatrical streak, too. But, like, usually furry, it's, like, something people do, you know, in privacy. And let's not talk about that here, especially with your age. Oh, okay. Oh, thank God. Okay. Phew. Oh, it's cosplay. Okay, because furries, from what my son told me, it's kind of like an orientation. I don't want to talk about that. You're freaking me out now. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for clarifying. God. Anyway, let's talk about clothes. Yeah, I thought that was like one of those things on the rainbow flag. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Anyway, I found this. This is a linen dress. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I just thought that that's what it meant. I didn't know. It's because these days everybody's always like, I'm on this or that of the LGBTQ flag, you know? So I was like, you're like, please read my comments. I'm a furry. And I was like, oh my God. I thought that was like a thing, you know, like that. And I was like, oh no. I was like, I don't know. It would be like if you were telling me you were trans or something. You know what I mean? I would be like, oh my God, what do I do with that information? Okay, it's private. Anyway, I found a linen dress. I found this nice linen dress. From Mossimo. And I found this also. I'm sorry about that. I really thought that that's what it was. I thought it was one of those LGBTQ things. I really did. Sorry. And I was like, I don't want to talk about that. I found this. This is from Talbot's. What? Hippy dippy? Oh my God, what happened now? Oh my God, I try to stay away from the drama. Oh, yeah, what did my son tell me? Like, he said, like, furry was like a term, like, it was part of that, like, sort of umbrella. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, it's just a cosplay. It's like, I don't know. I guess it's a different world. I'm not into cosplay. I didn't know. I've only ever heard of furry like in that other context. Sorry. I was really uncomfortable in case you didn't notice. I was like, what are you talking about? Oh my God, no, let's not talk about that here. Let's talk about this instead, okay? Cosplay, it's like people who are into cartoons and stuff and they dress up. They dress up like as cartoons, you know? I mean, as different characters. Like when my son was into comics, we went to Comic Con and I put my nun costume on, you know? Okay, I'll tell him he's wrong. Anyway, this is what I got. Yeah, so it's a Talbot's shirt with this like super cool pastel retro pattern, which I thought was really nice, so I grabbed it. It's really big. Where did I get this stuff? I thrifted it. What do you think? It's cool? Yeah, I really love the pattern. I really like this linen dress. I actually just sold another linen dress like last week. Maybe I didn't tell you or I told you, I'm not sure. I love linen and like I thought I was like super lucky to like find a linen dress at this time of year in the thrift store. That was pretty cool. And this, I love this so much. This is amazing. This is from Patrons of Peace. The shirt is really cool. I like all the colorful stuff. I'm trying to, well, like I'm trying to curate what I have there. A lot of the clothes that are on there, they were just mine, or they were my mom's. So now that I'm thrifting, yeah, linen is expensive, and that's like an $80 dress. I have it listed for 30, so still a good deal. Yeah, skinny straps means no bra. I would personally wear like a tank top anyway, or something, or one of these sports bra things that I'm into now. And then this is really cool. It's it's a jumpsuit. See, it's like it's a one piece, but it's pants. It's like super boho with like elastic gathering at the waist, and then it has the metal buttons. And this is what I did. I actually took the time to do this. Hold on, I'll show you. See, I like embroidered around the buttonholes so that it'll be strong, because it's kind of, you know, it's thrifted and it gets old, and maybe it'll like wear out the buttons. But yeah, this thing is amazing. If you want to see what like the whole thing looks like, I have pictures of all this stuff on my Poshmark. I'll give you the link. You can check it out. You can see all my new listings on there. Like, I know you're in America, and you can't buy them, but you can still look at them. Plus I have a couple of really nice vintage listings that I just put in there. Here, I'll give you the link. And if you want to sign up, even if you're in the States and you can't buy my stuff, there's the code. Whoops, I got all caps going, hold on. Use the code to get $15 store credit. So you get store credit. Even if you're living in the States and you sign up to Poshmark, use my code and you get a store credit. Do I like cats? Do I have to answer that question? I like rabbits. No, US, if you're in the US, you can't buy from me because I'm in Canada, which is kind of crazy. Like there's no cross-border shopping with Poshmark. It's ridiculous. That's why I have to get on eBay if I want to do that. But it's just like it's a lot of work, like making all the listings and setting up the store and doing all that. So I just haven't done it, but I will one day. Just like I one day got around to doing the Poshmark store. Well, I have a couple more dresses. Hold on. Where's the brown one? Okay, I'll show you this one. This one, it's crazy. Look at this. This is Diane von Furstenberg, and this is all silk up here, and it's like stretchy, and then it's lace. It's really beautiful, eh? Zipper in the back. You can see it on there. You can see how it looks. It's nice, eh? The only thing with this one, I don't know if you can see it because it's really, really, really light. I'd have to like take my glasses off to find it. There is a mark here. Yeah, here. It's like a very, very light stain. I don't know if you can see. Can you see it? Yeah, and here also a little bit. Like either it was makeup or something. It's very, very light. Like if somebody was just wearing it like this, you probably wouldn't notice it, but it is there. And I tried to get it off, but I wasn't able to get it off completely. But yeah, and I have another one. Hold on, I'm going to turn this thing so you can, wait, I'll fix my light too. Maybe, I don't know if that's going to help. Okay, because I want to show you the other dress, but I don't know where it is for some reason. I thought it was over here. It's so weird. No, that's not it. Okay, well. No, I better find it because I found two Diane von Furstenberg dresses, and for some reason, I can't figure out where the other one is. That's not good. Resolve stain remover? I think so, yeah. I tried the spray one. I tried the pen. Liquid paper. No. I'm going to destroy it. Yeah, it's world famous. And I have this. This is from my mom. This is from her store. I'm going to put the light back over here. I think I had it before. 1960s. This one's really, really cute. And it's like a really nice sheer pink material. And then it's got this white lining inside. And it's in really, really good shape. And it comes with a little belt. And if you want to see what it looks like, you can go look on the Poshmark and you're going to see like really good pictures of it. I listed that today. That I cleaned. I fixed it. Yeah, it doesn't fit me at all though. It's like an extra small. And then this is the other one. This one's amazing. Look at that. 1960s. And this one's 100% silk. and it has like this little sort of, it looks like a scarf kind of in the front, and then in the back it ties. Beautiful, eh? That's like a really like groovy dress, but this is not some cheap thing. This is like from Europe. It's from England, Wallace, London. It has an old tag in it. Yeah, it's pretty incredible, this dress. And it needed a little repair. Like, first of all, this here, this was the only way I could sew it. Yeah, it's mod. I had to do it like this. Like, I had to like fold the seam in and then sew it this way because it's such fragile silk. Yeah, it's really something. Yeah, so I had to do this very special little seam here because the silk was like, you can't just sew it back together in some sloppy way. So it does have a line, but it's really neat. And also on the other side, you can't even tell though, honestly, like the repair job I did was so good. Look at that. Like this here had come apart, but look, it's perfect. See? You can't even see it from the outside. And from the inside, look how neat the seam is. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that's me who sewed it, but it's so perfect. You can't even tell. You probably can't see it very well. Yeah, I fixed it like totally perfectly. I really want to show you the other Furstenberg dress though. I help your depression? Yeah, man, I did a good job, eh? Well, I'm glad if you feel better, Dennis. Yeah, I did a really good job. I mean, the only thing is, yes, there's a line here, but you know what? When you tie it, you don't see it at all because it ties like this around the back. You won't see the line. It looks perfect. Am I feeling better? Yeah, I guess so. I am. I'm feeling okay for now. I don't want to think about it. But yeah, I'm pretty good at like sewing and doing repairs. My mom taught me, and I have my lovely vintage sewing basket. Yeah, thanks, New Kettle. I was pretty proud of it. Yeah, I fix these things like that. This one was repaired, and this one, yeah, like stain removal. I mean, really, like you can almost not see it. I don't know. That one's just for reselling. Do I really want to go and spend money on ultrasound stain removal? I could, but I'd have to mark it up. This one, that was me who did this too. Like I embroidered all the buttonholes and it's so perfect. Like you can't even, only this one, it's a little bit high. The shape's a little uneven, but the others, like they're so perfect. You wouldn't even know that it was somebody who did it. Looks like it was just made that way. Oh yeah, here was what I was gonna say to you. Hold on, before I got distracted by somebody about people saying like, oh, resellers, you're just buying all the good stuff from the thrift store. Well, first of all, like look at all the repairs I had to do on it, you know? Like I did have to do a whole bunch. You guys still there? Yeah, like feel free to like buy damaged designer clothes and fix them yourselves and not ruin them. If you can do that, good for you. But anyway, like first of all, that went in there. But here's another thing. That thrift store that I was in, just in the time that I was there, they were bringing so much stuff in. The store was full of people and there was so much stuff being donated. The racks were so packed that it's like there's not even any room for the clothes, and that's even with people like constantly buying them. Like there is nothing near a shortage. There's no shortage whatsoever. Oh my god, my battery's gonna run out. There's no shortage in the thrift stores. Like there is a ton of stuff, so there's plenty to go around. Can I do my live as Anita? I've always wanted to do that. Maybe next time. Where are you, Reigns of Healing? Your thrift stores are so expensive? Where? Because in Montreal, they're expensive too, compared to the States. And you cannot find designer clothes unless you find like what I'm looking for, like more obscure, you know, hospital auxiliary thrift stores. Really? The hospital. Wait, no. Over here, it's so overpriced. Oh, you're in New York? Really? No kidding. I heard the States was better. I really want to show you my other Diane von Furstenberg dress. Let me try one more time. See if I can find it. Hold on a second. This one I can actually wear. Okay, no, I didn't find the Diane von Furstenberg dress, but look what I found. That's crazy. I found a Juicy Couture hoodie from like Y2K. How cool is that? With sequins. A Gucci watch? No way. They up here they would put the Gucci watch behind the counter and they would charge you like $500. Maybe it wouldn't be $1,500, but it would be $500. This thing's really cute. See, it's cute, right? It's got the hood. Look, I'm all glam now. Glam in my hoodie. It's so amazing and it's so soft. It's like velvety. Isn't that nice? It's kind of tight on me, but I mean, I could still wear it, but it's cool, eh? I don't know if I want to sell it. It's very soft. And I love the color. Like, it is a juicy color. It's like a nice, rich color. I mean, I listed it though, you know, because I need the money. I could wear it in the meantime. If I ruin it, I'll have to just take the listing down. But, yeah. I did list it. But, like, I don't want to not have it. I want to have the jumpsuit too, but like we were talking before, everything's so expensive. So, yeah, and look at that. It's got the label and everything. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. I don't want to sell it. You don't like the pants where it says juicy on the bum? Oh, yeah. I always thought it was a bit weird too. Everybody making side hustles to make ends meet. Yeah, like we have no choice, right? What am I gonna do? I can't get paid on YouTube. I gotta do something. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna look for that dress because that's what I really, really want to show you. I know it's here somewhere. It's got to be here. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time finding it. Using Twitch for streaming? Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll do Twitch, but if I do Twitch, I'm only going to do thrifting. Like, I don't want to do these news videos anymore. I'm so tired of it. It's an ungrateful business. Consignment stores are expensive. Okay, good night, Dennis. Thanks. Yeah, consignment stores. And I think that, like, yeah, when people give, like, really high-end stuff, they'll sell it. Okay, good night, Lynn. They'll sell it to the consignment stores or something, or the... Am I done truthing? I mean, it's, you know, at the end of the day, though, like, I have to provide for my family. And you know, when I was making those videos is a very long, involved process. It takes up an enormous amount of time, and it's like there's just not enough of me to go around, you know? Okay, take care, Hippy Dippy. Like, I can't be like taking care of my mom and my kid and Aaron and also doing that and not making any money on it. Like, I started doing this as like an alternative. I'm still here, but I'm here more for like the community, and you know, we have I think like a good dynamic going, and I still will do videos about things that I think are good things to talk about, like that we good information. But these like news type videos, like honestly, it's just so much work. You don't know how many hours and hours and hours of my life I spent sitting in here. And then, you know, you put it up and like YouTube shadow bans you, it gets no views, it doesn't earn anything, and it's like I just ask myself, like, what am I doing this for, you know? I'm not helping anybody. You all already know this. You know where to get this information. I'm just sending myself to the meat grinder, basically. But I want to see if I can find that other dress, because it's really something. I really wanted you to see it. And I listed one of my Betsy Johnson dresses too. I can show you that one. Hold on. This was one of mine, and I listed it up. I put it for sale. I mean, I can still wear it, but so it's like spaghetti strap, and then it's all elastic here, and then the skirt has a ton of material. See, it's like, it's huge. Look how much material there is in here. You know what? If I spread the skirt out both ways, look, tons of material, and it's a tiered skirt. Look at that, so much material. I mean, look, I'll show you though. What am I wearing here? I can show you what it looks like. But I'm ready to let it go if somebody wants to buy it from me. But if they're gonna try to like lowball me and ask me to sell it for 30 bucks, I'm gonna say no. I think I listed it for like more than I expect to get, but there's gonna be like a limit for how low I would go with this dress. So it's pretty cute, right? And then it really, you know, it like swirls a lot. What do you think? Not bad? You like how the torso portion is constructed? Yeah, it's cool, eh? I mean, I like the dress too, but you know, yeah, I kind of need the money, if you know what I mean. Am I trying to downsize? Well, like, I don't have that much of my own stuff. What's taking up so much space in here is my mother's stuff. I ended up with all her clothes, but a lot of them are really nice, and so I'm trying to sell them. And that's what's taking up stuff. If I got rid of all my mother's clothes and all the shoes and everything, it would be a lot less cluttered. I just really wanted to show you the other Diane von Furstenberg. I mean, I always gave stuff to charity. I've been doing that this whole time, and I was always selling on Marketplace. I just wasn't spending as much time on it and like investing myself in it so much. It's because, like I said to you guys, one day I realized, well, like, if I'm selling my stuff, what if I go buy stuff and then sell that, you know? But every little bit helps, you know? It all adds up. So, I mean, this stuff, it could, you know, and it takes a while to sell things. Yeah, I'm downsizing, but I mean, like I say, it's my mom's clothes. Poshmark takes 20%. That's a lot. But I mean, the benefit of it is that with Poshmark, you're reaching a lot more people. You know, like there's certain things where if you Google, yeah, I donate a lot too, GTO. If you Google a certain item, like literally my thing will come up right away. Like if you Google Mikasa dogwood, my Poshmark listing will come up on Google because I seem to be the only person who has the Mikasa dogwood set, because these are like hard to find. But if somebody has them and they break a cup and they're looking for a replacement, or like a Spode sugar bowl, I seem to be the only person who has that. Yeah, I do crafts too. I have my jewelry that I made that's up there. So far, I haven't sold any of it, but whatever, you know. They keep 20% if it's over $20. Anything under dollars, they keep under $20, they keep $4. So if I sell something for 20, the most I can get for it is 16. So I realize it's kind of not even worth it to sell cheap clothes. Like all my cheap stuff that I already have that belongs to my mom, it's up for very little, because whatever, if I get $5 for it. But I realize I'm better off to buy like more expensive clothes, like that have more value. eBay, I think, takes like 10 or 12%, and their minimum is $1.40, whereas Poshmark it's $4, so it's a lot. Yeah, but they figure out all the shipping. I don't think I have like the best, gift for style, but I know something about clothes. I know something about designers. Oh, I'm really good at sewing though. Yeah, because I'm artistic, right? So I'm really good at repairing, and I love those projects. If I find like old clothes and like try to fix them, and it's pretty satisfying when it works. Like that silk dress looks really good now, and somebody could wear it to like a festival or something and look amazing with some like thigh-high boots. It would be so cool, like super mod retro look. Okay, I'm gonna go look for that dress, unless you guys think I'm totally crazy and I shouldn't be doing this. Hold on a second. Wait, let me just check what my battery's at. Oh, it's like going down. Okay, wait, I'm gonna leave it plugged in. Truck. Yeah, the dress. Yes, it's like celebrity quality clothes. It is. It really is. It's really a very unique piece from the 1960s. Yes, the fabric, exactly, GTO. Like, I'll look at the racks and I can tell, like, by the quality of the fabric. But my mending skills are pretty good, so. And I have another thing. It's a challenge. Wait, I'll show it to you. Hold on. But I have to go get it without unplugging, though. It's gonna die. Hold on. Yeah, I'm really wondering, like, where's that dress? Like, what actually happened to it? I don't understand how the dress disappeared. How is this possible? Well, it's really weird. I have to know where it is, because if somebody buys it, I have to ship it right away. I can't, like, be looking for it. I thought I might have put it in the other room in that closet. Anyway, it's got to be in this closet or the other closet. Wait, one second. Let me just check the front closet. It shouldn't be there, but... Well, I'll have to show it to you another time, but it's a good thing that I realized that I don't know where it is. Yes, maybe it fell on the floor. No, it's got to be in there. Like, it has to be. Like, there is nowhere else I could go. Okay, one more time, and then I'm going to stop looking for it. You know, it's there. Like, it's either it's in there or it's in the other bedroom. It can't be in the front. That's only for jackets. It's got to be here. I'm just gonna put it on not available for now though, because what if somebody buys it and then I'm like, where is it? And I can't find it. I have to take the whole place apart again. Every time I can't find something, I have to like pull everything out. It's in there. I know it's in there. It's probably like under something. Anyway, I do have this. I'll show you this. These are really cool. They're vintage also. Vintage mini dress with tulips on it. It's pretty cute. Has a little zipper in the back. Did I layer it? Yeah, maybe I layered it. I was sure it was just on a hanger in there. I'm sure it's there. I just didn't see it. But look at this. This is like all embroidered tulips. There's a problem with this dress though. It has a hole. It has one little hole here. So what do? You know, what am I going to do to fix this hole? You know what I was thinking? Yeah, Rut-row. What would you do? What would you do to fix this hole? I mean, I have a couple options. One thing I could do is it's a mini dress, right? But it falls like under the knee. So one option would be to shorten it. But if I shorten it here, it's like in the middle of the tulip. So I would have to shorten it to like here. And then it would be like almost a micro mini. I could shorten it to here, which would be kind of complicated. I could do it. I'd have to take this seam out, and I'd have to like make a new hem up here, a new hem on the inner fabric, and then fold the transparent one on the top, and it would be like this. And then very carefully, wait, was it even hemmed here? No, the top is just folded over. I'd have to like, I don't know. Are the kids wearing micro minis? I don't know. So that's one option. Rehem the whole thing. Here. Okay, then there's this one. Another vintage dress. And this one has little butterflies all over it, and it's pink. But the problem with this one, it has a little bit of like discoloration. Like here it's not so bad, you can't see it that well. Here, like, it's slightly discolored down here. You might not be able to see it. Like, I can see there's like a little bit of a tinge. Like a kind of orangey tinge. Like here it's more like a purple in the middle. And then it like becomes more pink, and then the edges are like almost like a peach color. Like if I go like this, you can really see the difference. So I don't know. I mean, I guess you can just wear it like that. It's just not an even color. And then this thing is really nice too. It's a blouse. It's completely sheer, and it has the. You can't see anything on the screen. Could it be dyed? You know, I don't think so, because it has this overlaying fabric with white butterflies. Yeah, like if you took it the whole thing apart, and dyed it and put it back together, but I'm not going to do that. I think I would just sell it like that and be like, you do what you want with it if you want it. And I just wouldn't sell it for very much. And this is really, really nice. It's the blouse and it goes with that other dress. The problem with this, it just has a tear here. You know, right here. But I can sew that and you wouldn't even know. I'm pretty sure I could fix that 100%. Oh my God, no, it has a hole here too. What the hell? Then what, you know? Yeah, I got my work cut out for me. Clueless, really, yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. You know what I think I could do with this? Because it has a hole in the sleeve. I think with the sleeve it would be easier to just like move up the hem like this. Cut it at the edge there. And just like re-hem it. And it would be like, let's see if that would work. Because it's a 3/4 sleeve now. I hope I don't break it. It's pretty small. Oh my God, it's so small. I can't even. Oh no, look. Yeah, it comes to here. So what if I move the sleeve up so that it's like here? Actually, that's still a 3/4 sleeve. What do you think? Is that too high? Like, this is kind of a weird length anyway, right? Tell me what you think. If I hem it up to there. Oh, no, this isn't from Hot Tip. Hold it up to the light. No. This isn't even from the thrift store. This is mine. These are like mine from the 90s. They're super old. Yeah. But I look in the thrift store, like if I see something and I can repair it or not. I wouldn't buy like a bunch of stuff that had holes that I can't fix, you know. I wouldn't bother. But this was mine. I washed it too. Yeah, this is my 90s clothes. But they're beautiful. They're like designer clothes. What can I do? I'm going to give this to the thrift store or I'm going to fix it and I'm going to sell it myself as a thrift item. Tell me what you think. I'll have to show you. Roll up the sleeve. Like roll it up and hem it. Or should I do a short sleeve like here? Oh, it's way too small, of course. That's why I want to sell it. Yeah, no, I can't fit it anymore. I climbed a... No, you know what happened? I'll tell you. Well, the rip over here is just ripped, you know, and that's probably not from back then. You know what this is? This is probably a cigarette burn. I probably made a hole in it. Yeah, and the dress too. I used to smoke a lot. Oh no, GTO, you gotta put your clothing in like plastic bags so they don't get moth eaten. But I think it's worth it. Anyway, you guys think short sleeve or like 3/4? Well, either way, I could do it. I can hem it. It's doable. Actually, I could just like even, look, I see that they have like some of the tulip here. 3/4, yeah. They have some tulip here, so I could just like cut it off right here and just roll it up and hem it. That wouldn't even be that hard. I could do it by hand or even with the machine. Anyway, those are my clothes for this week. So I guess that's going to be it. I'll look for my dress and I'll show you the Furstenberg next time. Perfect cover up for flabby arms. Not really, because it's like super tiny. I mean, unless you're like skinny and flabby, then it'll fit. 3/4? Okay. Not short sleeves. Designer clothes? Yeah. Yeah, what am I going to do with that pink one though? I'm not sure. I'm just going to sell it. I mean, I'll put it up. If nobody wants it, they don't want it. It's fine. What are all the things that I make? Well, the jewelry, I mean... It's here, actually. Let me check that my camera's not gonna die. I wish I could have found that dress though. Oh yeah, it's okay. So these are not even listed though. I mean, they're listed. They're not even, are they? No, they're not even listed. They're not listed anywhere. Oops. I have a couple that I listed on Poshmark, but I find it's really hard to take good pictures of the jewelry because I have really bad lighting. What am I vaping? Just tobacco? So like I got these like boho earrings. Actually, this is one I really like. Here, wait, I'll show you that set. These are coral. They're pretty cool. I made some earrings for Jana. She really liked them. So those are coral. And this is like similar, but it's just a smaller stack. Hold on. Like I have a lot of earrings. I was kind of on an earring making trip around Christmas. It's like coral and silver. Oh, thank you, Chuck Norris. Well, that's what I was inspired to do at the time. Although the ones I made for Jana, there's just like 3 things on them. Not so many. Oh, Aaron is done talking about that stuff too. He's busy singing all the time. I mean, we still watch stuff. We just don't bother talking about it because what's the point? Nobody's going to hear it anyway. And if you guys hear it, you probably already knew it anyway. And then I'll just get sent to the meat grinder. Oh, there's a bug in my room. What? How'd you get in here? There's a bug on my computer. I have some necklaces here. I had a couple. I have these. These are pretty cool. They're like summer necklace. But these are not just any beads. These are African Krobo beads. They're trade beads, and they're really, really old. They're vintage, if not antique. So there's this yellow one, and I made a blue and white one too, kind of raver. And I made this one too, the blue white with a little bit of green. Didn't give you a very good look at it though. Vintage is older than 20 years, and antique is 100 years or more. Do I still use the Truther Girls intro? I don't even use an intro anymore. Oh, hey, Cajun. I'm still here. Oh, you do? You make earrings and feathered earrings? Do they sell? Oh, I killed the bug. Sorry, bug. I just didn't want to sleep with a bug in my room. I just casually killed it. And I have these two. These were made on commission, but she still hasn't paid me. Hopefully soon. I hope the bug doesn't get revenge on me. Oh, you do the intro music. This one. This is all like, was there another Truther Girl? Well, a lot of my friends have like come in and out over the years. So this one, these are African beads too. Well, these are actually Indian glass beads, and they're very old. They're vintage, and some of them are chipped, but they're so old that like they're not sharp or anything. And yeah, so that's mostly like really old from India. That one's on commission. I mean, I'm practically giving it away to her. It's ridiculous. I'm only asking, like I charged her $45 for this, and this is worth way more than that. With this kind of bead, like they're almost antique. But she wanted like a beachy looking necklace. But I was like, well, if I use the ones that are chipped and she doesn't mind, oh, you have a bug too, then that's okay. Like I'll use my beads and make her something really, really nice. Oh, thanks, David. I'm 52. Yeah, I love that look of that necklace. It does look like candy. And look at this one. This one's really cool, and it's huge. And it's got all these cool boho colors in it. This one's amazing. And the closure, where is it? Where's the closure? See, like the closure, the way I made it, you can't even find it. I'm looking for it and I can't even look. Oh, there it is. It's one of these, you know, but it sort of just blends in with the whole necklace. So you can wear it like as double strand. It's so boho, isn't it? I could probably put it over my head like this. Boho necklace. It'd be great with like the linen dress or something, you know? Get them appraised. I just made them. Who's gonna appraise a necklace that I made? What, you can do that? I'll take it to the jeweler and I'll be like, how much do you think this is worth? And I'll be like, I won't tell him it's me who made it. I wonder what he would say. Did you pay them to appraise it? These are Indian. These are African. Those beads are very valuable. And yeah, this is more Indian. But I like the broken beads. I think it looks cool. Like it looks like flotsam and jetsam, you know? It looks like really like it's stuff you found at the beach. And that was sort of the theme of this. It was like beach finds. Go to a bead place for them to really know how I think. But what do you mean though? Who's gonna appraise the necklace or the beads? I can't imagine. Well, I mean, I know that this type of bead, they're pretty rare to find. I mean, you can find them online. And this one, this is African. That's a different kind. And these ones are the ones that are valuable right here. Those are like ridiculously expensive if you buy them individually. These ones also, they're, I forget what it's called. If it's some kind of agate or something. Although it looks, I don't know. And like even these right here, this is mock coral. They're from Yoruba. No, that's like in Nigeria. Well, they're called Yoruba mock coral. There's a whole like ton of different kinds of. These are Nigerian right here. These black ones. And those are glass. Basically, yeah. It's like, and this, you know, I'm giving her this for $100. It's very cheap. But it's fine. It's not easy to sell stuff, you know. Tiger bones, really? Do I believe in Reiki healing? I don't know, probably. But I did know a guy who he did Reiki, but he lost his mind, went psychotic, and he ended up in the mental hospital, and he's gotten really scary. So I know that it doesn't fix everything. I could sell it in a custom bag or box. Yeah. I make really nice packaging when I sell people stuff online. What? Yeah, the guy who was doing Reiki, yeah, he lost his mind. So he couldn't fix himself, obviously. But I mean, like, you know, a doctor can get sick too, right? Oh my God, your ex was a Reiki master? Oh my God, he did that? He unsubscribed from life? No kidding. Does Poshmark do returns? No. No, everything's final sale. What people do is, like, if they buy something that doesn't fit, they re-posh it. They have to put it back up. They have to just resell it. Unless it's really damaged, then you can complain to Poshmark, like this thing. If it doesn't fit, it's like, well, you can't return it. But if somebody sells you something that's completely bogus or it's damaged, you can complain to Poshmark. Because I know someone who sold someone a bag, and it was all messed up, and they returned it. And got refunded. I sold some containers, stoneware containers, and I was worried about them, but they arrived in one piece. The person was really happy. Beautiful vintage stoneware with poppies on it. Well, I don't think it was the Reiki that did it. I think he was just crazy. He just lost his mind. He's really scary now. I wrote a whole post about him on Patreon. He scared the shit out of me. Yeah, he said some really scary things to me. Uh-oh. Oops. Oh no. Yeah, sometimes people who are mentally ill, they can be like really hostile. It's scary, and you can't reason with them. They're totally out to lunch. Oh yeah, the stoneware arrived. Well, what double box? No, I didn't do that. I didn't think of that. But no, what I did is I put styrofoam on the inside of the box and on the base, and then I used like bubble wrap and foam wrap, and I had them all like nestled inside the styrofoam, and then I put more styrofoam on top, and I had newspaper around them also, so like I put a bunch of stuff, a lot of stuff. Well, yeah, it worked. It's been really long. I'm glad that I was able to talk to you guys, and like that a lot of people were able to drop in. I kind of really bother that I can't find my dress, but next time I'll do it. And actually, if you go to my Poshmark, which I already gave you the link, you can see the dress on there. Maybe it's better you just go look at it on the, here, I'll just give you the link again. Just go check it out on my Poshmark. It's, if you do like just in on the filter or whatever, it'll show you that. So there's 2 Diane von Furstenbergs there, and you'll see it there. You'll probably get a way better look at it on there anyway. Well, it was nice to talk to you guys. Now you're talking about voodoo and magic and stuff. I could get in a whole conversation about that. But Marco, I'm going to answer your question before I go. What helps you individually with your depression? Well, right now, talking to you guys on this stream is helping me. You did distract me. I felt a lot better. Thank you. And when it persists too long, I take like the parasite cleanse with the wormwood, but just the wormwood, Artemisia absinthium. Not medical advice, but for me it helps for some reason. Because Aaron is sick, and usually when I get depressed, it's because I'm fighting a virus. And that's why. It's purely because I'm reacting to my own inflammatory cytokines. They create inflammation and it makes me feel horrible. But just depressed. Like, I'm not sick at this point. Let's hopefully I won't get sick. Let's hope not. But yeah, I finally made the connection a few years ago that when I have cytokines going, this is what happens. And it's true. And it was really bad after COVID too. I had like panic attacks for like 6 weeks. So yeah, it just gives me psychiatric effects. But anyway, it's been lots of fun talking to you, and now I'm gonna do exercise now. I'm gonna go to bed. No, but it doesn't work. Like usually all that stuff, it doesn't work, unfortunately. I mean, getting distracted, going outside is good, but no, exercise isn't going to get rid of it. But anyway, I'll be fine. This happens like every 2 months, so at least. So it's okay. Anyways, lots of fun talking to you. It's really nice to see you guys. Super long chat tonight. Oh my God. And yeah, I'll show you my dress the next time. Okay, thanks you guys. Have a good night. Love you. Bye.